Alright, I'm just gonna get started, honestly.
All right.
Yeah, hi everyone, welcome to the Autumn Colors Podcast. I'm the Sozo-sha, and today joining with me is Codename CMB.
What's up?
Let me just double check your levels. Yeah, you're perfectly fine.
Just making sure.
Yeah, I just notched you up a couple. That's fine.
Alright.
Alright, so yeah, I have been wanting to do this for a while. Pretty much, I just kind of wanted to go over the last 5 years, sort of reminisce about what has happened and what's been happening, and I don't know, just kind of go from there. I guess considering what where this is starting, I guess I might as well just include 2019 in that mix, considering. But yeah, these
Honestly, it's your show, so.
to say that as if I'm some sort of like authoritarian on this shit. It's literally just we're in Discord chatting the shit.
Yeah, it's your show. I got nothing. I'm a spectator.
I'm just a scarecrow. Whatever. Fuck, where do I start? I guess I don't know, for me personally, I guess I just started out as a college dropout in 2019 and then was just working two jobs.
Damn.
Yeah. It was very early. I dropped out of college in 2019, and then during the summer, I just took a class, and then after that, more or less, I just started working. And
Hmm.
from then on, I mean, like, that was just kind of my 2019. I was mainly just doing two jobs at once.
If you don't mind, like about your college life, like, did you drop out just because like the workload was a bit too much, or
It was
was
around
it
the
like fun?
second time, but I dropped out because it was just it. They kind of gypped me. Like I had graduated high school and they gave me this program where it's like, oh yeah, if I sign up for this, I can get like 2 free years of like tuition free college, and they kind of gypped me on that, so I ended up dropping out.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and I had to pay off the tuition just by working two jobs, so there's that. I went back to school like a couple years back, but yeah, the more so I just ended up having to drop out.
Yeah, I get it. School is not for the easiest.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember it was a bitch and a half, like in the second of my last year. Just, oh my god.
Yeah. That was though around the time when I was starting YouTube fresh, and yeah, I was saying stuff like, "Oh man, I can't wait for 2020. I'm gonna be able to start fresh. Like, I'm just gonna be able to focus more on my art and everything." Yeah, those were the days. But going out of 2019, I went to the last movie I ever saw in the theaters, which was the second My Hero Academia movie.
Not bad.
Yeah, I would have to double check, but I'm pretty sure I still have like a photo from when I went to that. But yeah, it was just like the last time I saw my friends. Oh, I just found it right off the bat here. Oh, I'll let you see it.
All right.
But yeah, it was. I went to the movie with a bunch of people from high school, and hadn't seen them in a long while. But it was just like I just went to it, and we had a good time mostly, and yeah, I don't regret it. I haven't really seen those anybody there since, but I mean, it's just still a time where it's just like I look back and I'm like I really enjoyed it, honestly. But yeah, that was around when I started to hear that uh the coronavirus had hit the states. And by the time I was hearing it was actually starting to reach where I was heading off to work, and all of a sudden the teachers decided to go into strike regarding mental health. And so I was crowded in like a train full of people.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Thankfully, at no point did I ever get COVID, but it was just like it was real touch and go because I got a compromised immune system, so it's very easy for me to get sick. Is the thing.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so it's like a real like touch and go. And
Yeah.
yeah, I remember it so vividly. My dad gives me a call the other days, not the other day, but it's just when I'm headed off to work, and it's just like, hey, I'm gonna need you to not either work at home or quit your jobs because, by all accounts, out of between both of us, you were the most likely to get the virus. And I'm like, oh shit. So I guess I talked to one of my bosses. They were fine with me working at home. I talked to my other boss though. But the whole thing was like it was an open studio, so I had to be on site to work there, and
Oh.
they ended up letting me go.
Oh.
That actual business actually went under after COVID.
Oh shit. Yeah, that it did
Yeah, that
affect a lot of businesses pretty
yeah.
bad.
But yeah, it was interesting. As soon as like I started working at home, I was mainly preoccupied with that. And then the infamous moment where a black man was killed with a cop putting his knee over his neck happened, and the riots took place. Yeah, uh, I lived pretty damn close at the time, near to where the riots happened,
Oh.
and like I was already out of a job. My second job let me go after the riots and whatnot. They were just like starting to do some job cuts due to a result of it. Yeah, that it's 5 years later. We are only just now starting to get to a point where we're actually recovering. Like the police station that by all account, like there was a number of police stations that were attacked. One of them got burned down, and
Oh.
yeah, I heard now 5 years later, I'm hearing that that place is actually being like going back into like being repurposed essentially. It's being rehoused for a whole new business. It's not a police station anymore. But
Hmm.
yeah, and then there was a whole block in the Twin Cities that was burned, just burned completely down to the ground, just charter mains, and that place got taken down in place of a parking lot for a stadium.
Oh.
So yeah, a lot of the
Damn.
businesses around there just got fucked over after the riots, and it was already bad because that place was like I remember that place is just it still is it is just a ghetto, and the riots did not help.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and I mean it's just like 5 years later, and now it's like relatively, I mean, things are still fucked, but there's just like little by little, things are at least looking to get better. But yeah, me and fuck ton of other people were unemployed. I remember clearly. The day I was let go, I had received in the mail because I was getting some money saved over because I wasn't spending it on bus fare or groceries or anything. I had some money saved over, so I bought a PS4. And then the day I got that in the mail, I was basically let go.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm pretty much I got my last checks and I was just I don't even remember what I spent it on at this point, but it was something. But I'm pretty sure it's all gone at this point. At this point,
Yeah, still, I feel for your pain. That honestly is a huge blow.
bro, it's. I think everyone, by all accounts, has felt that. I mean, like that, like the COVID and what happened with the riots. It was just like a worldwide phenomenon, man. Like everybody was affected by that shit.
Uh, like for my job, I remember like I was an emergency worker, so I could like go to my job all the time. But I mean, still, I was dealing with high school in the
Mm-hmm.
middle of that, and I'm just like, well, this is great, but then it also sucked
Yeah.
because I signed up for a music course in the I signed up for a music course that semester, and then we couldn't use the music course. We couldn't use the software they provided. So they were just like, make up anything and that's your work. And I'm like, damn, this is so boring. Thank God AI music was not around.
Yeah.
I I had to like find some workarounds just to um tinker around. I found like Incredibox and there was another one. I think it was called Plinkin. And I just like tinkered around with those, and I'm like, here. That was like my only source of enjoyment, and it was killing me. And that was also the time I started to just like draw random stuff.
Yeah. I'm assuming you also don't have like an iPad or anything.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, because I would have recommended stuff like Novation.
Funny thing is, I did gift my mom an iPad for Christmas, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Uh. Oh man, it's. I think back to it. It's just like I remember I was gonna be like 2020 was like the year I was gonna be more serious and more like I wanted to focus on my art. I wanted to focus more on my craft. And then shit just happened. I ended up quarantined and I was just like losing my fucking mind. I was just
Mm.
more and more just getting more depressed, man. And I was just like, oh man, I need a distraction. I was just like, oh shit. I just said the channel that was just like making shit posts and everything, I'm gonna take that down. And now 2020 happens, so I'm just like, no, you know what? Fuck that. I'm not going back to that. I'm making this entire new channel and just gonna post shit there. Yeah.
Damn, like the universe really just like threw you a massive curveball.
Yeah. I don't know what it was. I think 2020 was like a year. I think a lot of people was just dead set on like doing some new things, and the universe said no. Fucking.
the I think it's just like 2020 that it was like that magical year where everything was perfect or it felt perfect
And then
for
the funniest thing
roughly.
happened.
Oh boy. It made school a fucking nightmare. It made some of my classes a lot easier,
Mm,
was great. But then it also made everything else I enjoyed so much harder. I
yeah,
think I spent the most time on like Steam and like watching YouTube videos because I'm
yeah,
like there is nothing.
yeah, yeah. It was also around the time I got heavily like into Persona, and you could no doubt see it from like my Trekker record on my second channel, where it's just like nothing but like fucking Persona memes for a good solid year. Yeah, I. It was funny because I went from like genuine like diehard fan about that series, and then I met people in the fandom, and that shit just pulled a 180. Oh man. But yeah, it was just I needed distractions, and I think like around then it was just like I think more or less it was just like I started just distracting myself with stuff like anime and then just video games and then just one after the other I started just doing these other things to distract myself and whatnot, and then 2021 came by, and by all accounts I think we just like all of us started getting vaccinated, and we could actually like on some level start getting back to our lives and start re-entering society.
Yeah, 2021 was a very interesting year. Especially like that was around like 2020 late 2020. I started like college for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ, terrible.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely horrendous. Cuz
Yeah.
like they locked down so many things, everything was online, barely
Yep.
anyone did anything. And then by
Yeah.
2021, you could see it was getting better. But at least like at my college, we had like weekly tests we had to take, and it was on a queue system. And the queue would always alternate every time. And if you didn't meet the qualifications, they would revoke your room key.
Yeah.
So you couldn't get into your dorm. Which happened
Yeah.
to me once. Only because they queued me while I was at my job. So I had to.
Yeah.
So when I got there, I had to wait an entire day just to take the test because it wasn't on the day I got there.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare.
Yeah. Fucking. I still wasn't back in work yet, but what I did was I went to my dad was just like, "Yo, I think you need help." So he got me therapy. Like, and mind you, that
Oh,
was like the first time I ever went to therapy. Did I ever tell you about the hospital incident?
I don't think you have ever.
So, like, it was, I forget when exactly, but this was back in, like, middle school. This was when I was losing my shit. This was, like, because I talked about, like, my abusive brother, and it's just, like, around the time he left for the fucking service, I was just, like, I never went to therapy. I never had anything like that shit. And I was also in a state of mind where it's just, like, trust nobody, only trust yourself. So it was, like, I was losing my shit, and then it was just like acting like a class clown, just so that people could like actually take an interest in me and whatnot. So it was just like I did whatever the fuck people wanted me to do, and I was just losing my shit. And school caught on to that, and I was just at the time I made up some shit about how I was seeing hallucinations, but really, if I knew to just fucking trust them, I probably would have said that, bro. I need help. I would have just said that shit. I need help. Like, I am losing my mind. Like, I have all this stuff going on, and like I have no outlet to take it on or anything. I need help. But it was just like I made up some stuff, and then I got put in a hospital. That didn't,
Jesus.
yeah, that didn't really help or anything. I just ended up, they ended up taking, they ended up just, all they did was take blood. To quote Mitch Hedberg, I went to a doctor, I wouldn't recommend it. All he did was take blood. Don't go see Dr. Acula. But yeah, they showed me shitty movies, they took blood, and that was it for a while. And it was like fuck, I was in middle school, but now I'm like entering society as an adult, and now my dad's just like, all right, I need you. You got to be put on therapy or something to help, man. You need this. And so I started talking about my problems, and I got help. I started working on myself, and I started to see things a lot more clearer. I started to change things about myself. I started to work on myself. And then I started like noticing things about the people in my life and like honestly realizing by all accounts who I should and shouldn't have in my life, and I started cutting ties. And it's been honestly like I honestly just it's I haven't looked back since. It's just like it's something where it's just like I don't regret it. And then around that time also I started like working again. Like I worked at a fucking minimum wage like bullshit retail job, but like it was just something there. And then I went from that to at some point I actually started driving and getting my own car, and I worked at a warehouse job which went from like 8 hour full time job to that paid really well to I was working like 10 hours 5 to 6 days a week during the
Oof.
holidays. Yeah. I was having health problems. Like I was throwing up. Like I was sick and yeah, I ended up having I ended up having to be put on antibiotics at one point because I was just so stressed out that it was actively affecting my physical health. Like it was
Jesus.
yeah. Oh man. Man, it was the pay was good, but I don't ever think I'm gonna go back. They let me go because like I called in sick. Like that was their whole thing. It was just like, yeah, we know you called in sick, but we're gonna have to let you go. But it's whatever. I, I'm not going back there. But I don't know. It's just like being able to earn money, honestly, and driving and just sort of being self reliant. It's just something I honestly would prefer to go back to. But just in an ideal job where it's just like I'm not doing what I was doing at the warehouse. You know?
Well, yeah, you don't want a job that's literally going to be hell for you.
Yeah.
Like, you
And
gotta
I mean,
live the rest
if
of
you
your
can,
life.
I will say if you can afford it, because some people, this is just their, this is all they fucking got. You know, it's just
Mm.
like, I mean, like back in the day, that was the only option I had. There weren't any opportunities lining up. I was out of work for a whole year at that point. So I
Damn.
wasn't building up my resume. I wasn't in school or anything. I was unemployed. I was just quarantined. It was I like it like by all accounts, and the only reason why I had a warehouse job to begin with was because they made it clear they were looking for people to handle the seasonal shifts. And so they just needed to staff up. That was really all they did. I had no prior experience in a warehouse or anything.
Damn.
Yeah.
They just needed bodies.
They just needed the bodies. And it did, again, it paid for quite a bit of things. Like, I got some stuff that I never thought I would be able to. I got a drawing tablet that I never thought I'd be able to pay for. I got shit like a Steam Deck. I got a Nintendo Switch. Like, I got so much stuff that I never thought I would have gotten with that job. But at the same time, it's just like, yeah, the pay was good, but I don't really know if my body can handle that, honestly.
Yeah, that's always the problem with high intensity jobs. I
Mm.
mean, yeah, it might pay well, but there has to be a con to it, and yeah,
Yeah.
it takes a toll on you.
Yeah. Yeah. And that, I mean, like, I think for a long time, like, after that, I mean, I was working some jobs here or there, but more or less, like, I mean, it was just, that was just kind of my life. I was just, like, driving around, sort of making ends meet with paychecks and, going to work. It's just that was just kind of it. I was doing YouTube every so often, but it was just like I mean, between the fact that at the time I was working a 10-hour job and also just trying to make ends meet, it was very much clear it was just a hobby. Like, I do remember, though, like, occasionally when I had the opportunity, like after work, I would just head down to the mall and then just pick up some manga and whatnot. Just figure spend my money on something, read that shit, and yeah, I mean, I got to make some like videos and whatnot out of it. Literally, like if I didn't have like my warehouse job and whatnot, I would have never made videos on stuff like Ojo Jojo. Like, I,
Oh.
yeah, I don't think I would have even like known that series existed. But yeah, again, the pay was good, but it's just like I needed. I it was not really where, by all accounts, my body like could take it honestly. So, but after that, I mean, it was just I started going back and forth. At that point, it was like at that point we were into. I mean, the latter half of 2021 was just me working a warehouse. At this point, we're in 2022, and I'm working a couple of different jobs. More or less, I'm dealing with, I think, just more or less going from like YouTube, like looking at, because at the time I was like, oh man, I want to pursue it as a career and maybe make some money off of it. And I realized that that was just kind of dead in the water, so I decided to transition that to a hobby.
Mm.
Hmm. Yeah, 2022, like, it's interesting because like 2020, one of the worst fucking years. 2021, things were actually looking up. I think 2022 and onward, it just gets worse.
Jesus.
And I'm not talking about just in my life. I'm just talking about in general.
I mean, not a lot of great stuff happened, but
I'm trying to think what happened like 2022 that was like genuinely good. All I can think of was like I had jobs. That was it. I guess I don't know. I think like I guess 2022 might have been like the like mixed year. Like I think 2022 was just like the year where it's just like it. I don't know. I think it felt like a genuine shift where it was like we went from the feeling the effects of what happened with 2020, and things were actually, I think like 2022 was very much the like probably the best case of return to society kind of year.
yeah, I can see that. A lot more people were feeling more comfortable, and the masks were starting to come off. They were kind of coming off in 2021, but not as much.
Yeah, 2021 it was very much a case of like, yeah, let's, I mean, we got vaccinated, but you still have to carry around like this card. Like I think I still have mine from like 2021, but it's just like I don't I think I don't know. I don't even carry it around anymore. I don't think it's
Right?
necessary anymore.
Yeah, it's not really. I still have my card
Mm.
from like what the 2 shots I needed, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, oh, I hated those shots. Every single time
Yeah,
I got every single time I at least got it, I felt all the symptoms in like 6 hours, and I'm like, oh,
I forget if I took the two shots. I think I might have gotten like the one. No, it was like I think it was like yeah, it was the one. And then it was like the day after. I don't even remember shit. I was just it was headache, fever, everything. The day after though, it was like I was a little better, able to walk around, but it was I was still feeling the effects. But after that, I was fine.
mm. Um, I think the one confusing thing about like the COVID shots during the time was like for me at university, it was weird because they allowed us to pretty much like not go to no, they allowed us to go on campus without taking the shot. So I'm like, oh, okay, so I probably don't have to do it for 2022. And then 2 weeks before that happened, they're like, actually, you have to have it and you have to get it in the next 2 weeks or else you literally can't go on campus. And I just moved all my stuff to campus. And I'm like, why do you do this
Yeah.
to me? It's not the hardest thing in the world, but it's just freaking annoying.
Mm.
My school was always like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. I mean, how? I mean, like 2022 is just it was just kind of, I think in my eyes, a year that happened. I mean, like, because I'm just thinking back. I'm like 2020 was the worst year, but I mean, by all accounts, like I can recall like so many things about it from not just the COVID, but also like the the crunch from Cyberpunk 2077, the new console situation, the
Oh
fucking
yeah.
2020 election, and the aftermath of that. It's just like I recall so much of that. It's just like 2022. I'm struggling.
We had so much happen in 2022. I'm just like looking back at like all the stuff like I previously did in 2022. It was a lot of movies and shows I watched.
Mm,
Like a lot of them. I
yeah.
think Spy X Family came out that year.
I think.
Um, Jujutsu Kaisen's movie also came out. Licorice Recoil. Um, God, a lot of stuff happened.
Yeah. I
And
like
yet, we
I
also had
remember
Morbius.
I remember 2022. I remember it distinctly because 2022 had one of the worst snow record on record snowstorms possible because it was God, it like below zero for so many weeks, and just the snowfall was just like it was immense.
Oh.
Uh, yeah, it's just it was a year, and then oh man, I went from hey
Hello.
Hello.
yeah, so yeah, 2022. I mean, like I started working. I mean, I had a summer job, but I transitioned to from that to it was a retail job, and I remember like I mean, if I could, I would go back to it, but I don't have a car currently, so. But I mean, like relatively, I kind of liked a lot of people. It was a ghetto ass retail shop, though, bro. Like I fucking I did the night shift, and it was just like I walk in to the bathroom and see some dude smoking meth and some shit. You know, it's just like one day I was just like I was closing up, and I just had this dude staring me dead in the eyes for a good 30 seconds before walking away. It was like it was the
Oh.
shoplifting. It was just like it was fucking ghetto as hell. Fucking. But yeah, like I mean, I got along with a lot of the coworkers. I had this one coworker, this older lady. Had I think I talked about this at one point. It was just like we got into it about like rap and hip hop, and she was talking about how she doesn't like rap and hip hop because it's like she doesn't consider it music. She considers it poetry, which is, I mean, for everything rap and hip hop to be called, it's like it's not the worst thing I've heard it be called. Like I mean, yeah,
Mm.
it's because it's poetry. And then we were going off about it. We were getting along, talking about by all accounts we don't like the new age stuff. And then she and I was thinking, okay, we're getting along pretty fine. And then she leaves off with, and they wonder why they keep getting shot. And I'm just like,
Oh.
Oh, dear
so close.
Lord.
You had
Dear
it.
Lord.
You had it, and then you fucked it up. So close.
My God.
And I was just like, I work minimum fucking wage, like my god. I worked minimum
Actual
fucking wage.
insanity.
It was like I don't get paid enough to make a complaint to the front. Like literally, I had to deal with shit like this older white dude coming in. It was just like we had like installed these self checkout machines, and it was like it was just my job. It was just like, hey, if you're paying with a card, you can self checkout here. Older dude was just like, I don't use self checkout. I'm like, all right, I'll ring you up. And I'm just like, I don't care. He's like, I don't give a fuck. Look at it. I'm on the clock. Like, if you need to get checked out, I will check you out. And then it's just like, yeah, I don't use self checkout in places like retail. And then it's just like, I'm never coming back to this place. And I'm just like, all right, bye. I don't get paid enough to give a fuck about your feelings. Like, I am not sorry. Leave. Like, I don't care. Okay, you don't want to shop here? Bye, by all accounts. Either get with the times or shut the fuck up. Like, oh my god. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, relatively, I mean, it was an alright job, all things considered. It paid. But
Mm.
2023, I mean, like, God, I had so much fucking trouble. Like, it was. I don't know what the fuck happened. Like, 2021, I was getting job after job. 2022, job after job. 2023, what the fuck happened to make every job just not accepting? Like, what the fuck happened?
So it's this little thing that happened and started really popping off. It's called artificial intelligence.
Oh,
And
Jesus Christ!
Yeah. That's exactly
Artificial
what fucking
intelligence,
happened.
as well as like people who just like, I don't think you fit our standards, and then just like, and it's like, bro, really?
It is the artificial intelligence and those fucking job like sites that by all accounts is just like how many fucking requirements do these jobs want you to do? Like so many surveys where it's just like all the shit you could have just asked me in person for a fucking interview. Don't even get me started on trying to apply for fucking Walmart. Oh my fucking god. Like,
oh, really? It's that bad?
oh, it is. Look,
Jesus.
dude, look up sometime how to pass the Walmart job interview survey.
How to... What
Yeah,
is this? A
Oh,
Dark Souls
Jesus.
thing?
It's by all accounts, it's fucking bullshit, dude. It sucks. Oh my god. Like there's so many like FAQs and just posts online where it's just like, okay, here's how to pass it because it is just so they want you to have like they want you to have the fucking intelligence of a goddamn robot at that point. It's just they at this point it would be easier for them to just hire just robots to do the fucking job instead of just trying to search for anybody to fucking apply. It's so bullshit. I hated it. Oh my fucking god. And
Yeah,
I
fair enough.
tried applying for different jobs. I tried applying different places. Just nobody was fucking hiring. And then I was just like, fuck it. I'm going back to school. And then I went back to school. And then I dropped out.
Oof.
Yeah. Man, it was the drawbacks of the no child left behind policy, man. Bro, I was a part of the generation that would not repeat your grade. It was a part of the generation that regardless of whether or not you failed, you would get to move up.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. The drawbacks of that, you have to go to college where, oh, if you're failing, oh, yeah, you're not going to have the credits to be able to continue going to college anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no child left behind my
Jesus.
fucking ass.
Yeah, college is stressful like that.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
absolutely, and like 100%, like school in general, in order to pass, is stressful. But the added fact of like until my senior year, like I did not have to actually pass any of my courses. It's just like, bro, it's just like when you actually start giving a shit, you feel it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Fuck. 2023, man, though.
Mm.
Did
I think
happen
around
in
that
23.
Yeah, I think around that time we start because like in 2022, that's when me and Zozo met.
Was it? I don't
Uh,
remember.
yeah, it was around that time me and Zozo became friends, and yeah.
Oh, 2023. I mean,
Mm. A lot of
I'm.
stuff happened to say the least.
I remember why I failed college. Because that was the year I moved out.
Oh yeah.
Oh damn.
That's why. That's why it's all coming back to me. That's why I was fucking up in college. I had to move out. I had to deal with like having little resources to work with. I had to deal with a new commute, which was like almost a fucking hour. Yeah, I remember
Xbox.
why I failed college.
Sorry for being late.
Hey, Smug. But yeah,
Did we
like,
get to the part where every second son sucks?
sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, fucking. I honestly, like, I'm glad I moved out, but at the same time, bro, that had to come at the worst possible fucking time. Like, I moved out, and it was just like, I had to move out. My dad comes, like, to my fucking door one day while I'm in college, and it's like, hey, so, yeah, we're moving out. And I'm just like, oh. Yeah, that's great. I just did all of that work to apply for college. Yeah, how am I gonna make that fucking work?
Jesus.
Yeah. And now I just kind of live on my own.
Understandable.
Fuck. 2023 though
Mm.
is like 2023 was a kind of a fucked year. It was. It was just
Yeah.
like it was just like unemployment mixture with like so much shit that was going down, and yeah, I was just like it was just, and it did not get better after that is the thing.
Yeah. That is kind of understandable to say the least. I generally don't know how to add on to that.
Yeah, there's really no that. I don't know how to transition from that without seeming like an
Yeah.
asshole.
I mean, there's
Yeah.
no real transition here. It's just like what the fuck happened to us in the last 5 years. That's just the note we're going off of.
Yeah.
I was
Regret?
sick, then I got better, then I got sick, then I got better. Yeah, I'm sick.
Basically I was in like 20 after like 2022 I was coming out of like high school, getting out of high school finally, and I was just like, what the fuck do I do? Because all I do is just lay around and play video games. What can I say?
You don't got a
I
fucking
think it
job or
was
anything?
about who's it?
No, I can't get a job exactly because like I'm dealing with other stuff at the moment, and it's difficult to get a job at least.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's understandable.
Yeah.
I
I
think
mean,
it was
like,
about 3 years ago that I met you guys, actually.
Yeah.
We all met
Was it
on
really 2
like
to 3
okay.
years ago?
Me and Code. I didn't realize this until like by all accounts we started doing that. So we started watching some of my older videos. But I guess me and Code have history. Like everyone else, I knew from Kagado.
Yeah.
Me
But
and him?
can you really say you know them from Colorado, though, if it's just like his server and there's like 1,000 people in there?
Yeah.
I mean, I would if it wasn't for the fact that me and Kagado are friends. So.
Well, I mean, yeah, I know,
Understandable.
but it's
Like,
not
if-
like,
like,
but it's
okay,
not
if-
like Colorado was like, Mrs. Smug, Sozo, nice to meet you. You know, like,
Basically, it was during the day when I first joined the Butt Punchers, the Discord server when I met ya. And I was like, well, I feel like we have a really nice friendship.
that woman is extremely toxic.
Yeah, for some reason, I don't know what it is. They think you're like a fucking toxic for some fucking reason.
Yeah, I don't know why. But also, like, kind of very strong opinions, and you can't tell when I'm joking or not.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that's
It's so funny, though. It's so funny.
yeah.
And it's like,
I have made it a habit.
really?
Like, I've made it a habit on like publicly not to really mention the server because by all accounts, like the problem I have with doing stuff like that is because if people hear that, people will immediately
it calls out.
it calls it out, but it calls attention. And it calls attention to the
Yeah,
people
and it starts crap. You
Yeah.
don't want to start crap with
Yeah,
it.
I don't want to start crap. Like,
Yeah.
by all accounts, like, anytime I have had shit to deal with, I've had, like, by all accounts, dealt with certain people and everything, I've always made it clear that, yeah, I want to take it to them, not specifically everyone around them. So it's just like anytime I tried talking about the server, I tried keeping it like under wraps on some level because it was just like I don't want people to hear it and go, oh, so we have to direct our attention to the admins of which are friends of mine, which I'm like, don't fucking do that shit, bro. They don't deserve that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking.
Yeah, exactly not. It's not like it's a blanket issue where it's like, oh, well, everybody's in the wrong. No, it's like very specific people, but you don't want to know who the people are because you'll get mad.
Few bad apples don't make the grove bad, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking. It's just like. And we're talking about like the server. I'm just like I'm remembering like. I think the first time I ever like started really talking to you, Smug, was like.
What's the worry arguing about something? Yeah, what's the worry arguing about something really stupid? And I was like,
I thought you were a guy at the time, and we're just like,
it's
why is
like,
everyone think I'm a guy? I'm just like, bro, I was just, I think what it was just like, I call everyone dude.
Yeah, no, you're dead. But that's what no, so that doesn't offend me. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's so it was so fun. He was like, "Smokes a chick." It's like, wow, she is very spicy for a woman.
Oh, you have a vagina? I did not know that.
Open beer sips. Oh, you're black opens can.
That's right. That happened the last 5 years. That's when it. I don't know if we all did, but that was definitely when I started watching the Russian Badger.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I've known. Well, when was his Farcraft 5 video? That was the one I found out from him. Look at I ironically, I saw like a clip of it that beginning on YouTube. Or not YouTube, ironically, I funny of all things, and it was the cheeseburger clip.
Yeah.
I
was
surprised
I was surprised because I actually knew about him back in I think like 2019, honestly, because someone was spitting around the clip of like, y'all remember what was it called, Love Live?
The fucking,
Nico Nico
break.
Cut to a clip of Russian Badger. Dude, I swear to God, if you don't shut the fuck up, I'm going to break your Nico kneecaps.
Yeah, it's so funny and so whatever. Okay, this is sort of like the last 5 years, I think. Because I forget when this game came out. Did you know that Doki Doki Literature Club was supposed to have a full-fledged sequel and it got canceled?
It was?
Yeah, it was supposed to have a full-fledged sequel and it got canceled. I was like, what would you do with it, even if you got that far?
What are you supposed to do with a sequel?
It
The
didn't.
most
Okay, I will say
visual
this.
novel ever.
It didn't happen the last 5 years, but I will say, considering we were quarantining, I wouldn't have been surprised if it got brought up. Like, you know what didn't happen? You know what wasn't in the last 5 years? What didn't come out in the last 5 years? This was a surprise to me. Among Us.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
it
was-
came out in like
Yeah.
2017, yeah.
2017,
Yeah.
2018, and then it just had this major insurgence in 2020.
Yep.
Yeah.
when the
Now
Henry
it's-
Stickmin collection released. I remember that.
Oh,
I
yeah, it
totally
was-
Yeah, I
that
remember that
was so-
too.
It's
I remember like playing Among Us with a few of my friends,
Yeah,
and that's
it's-
basically it.
It's one of those games where it was just like, now I think by all accounts people have just kind of moved on to Repo now. It's just like, it's one of those games where it's like,
Yeah.
it was a fun
It's what
quarantine
people
game.
call Freddy Slop.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was
They moved on.
definitely yeah. It was one of those
They
things
moved
where
on.
I think the mixture of quarantine being over next to the just what's the word I'm looking for? Prostitution of Among Us.
Well, it's because every YouTuber and their mother were playing it, and that made everybody else want to play it.
Yeah, and then it was just like at some point I think I don't know, I think we just got burnt out on it. Like
Yeah.
I think I can
Do you- was it-
I think I can pinpoint
Go
when
ahead.
when it just no longer became fun. And that is when people started to take it seriously. Do you ever do you ever watch
Yeah.
CDawg VA play Among Us?
Yes.
Yeah, it's so unfun because he's so good at it, and
Yeah.
that doesn't make it funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's just like there was a I think a moment that might be the moment you're talking about, but there was
It's like,
there was
you
one
mean to have-
person like he was playing with. He got to be imposter, and he was playing it, and he was just kind of doing one thing. One guy just turns the corner, notices CDawg VA, and then turns immediately back around, hits the emergency button. It's like, okay, Connor, what are you doing? I'm just doing this. Okay, so you're the imposter. So the thing about the imposter is that they actually have all these like imposter tests, and like
God.
everyone has the comments. It's like, oh my god, bro, I would just fucking kick you off the fucking map, bro, just
You know
for
what-
being a goddamn sweatlord at Among Us of all things.
Do you know what's so
I
funny
would
about
like
that?
fly.
Do you
fly
know
up
what's
to
so funny
where
about
this
this?
person is. I strangle them, just like Jesus Christ.
Do you know what's so funny about that? It did
What?
this start with Among Us. It started with Prop Hunt, and it started with Trouble in Terrorist Town.
Yeah,
People
that's
these days used to make
right.
this fun, used to make this fun
Yeah.
little game, right? And people started to take it so competitively seriously that it's like, this is not fun anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like I remember like the days of like old school like YouTube at this point where it's like you would watch PewDiePie and his friends and whatnot play stuff like Prop Hunt, play stuff like Trouble in Terrorist Town. And then I don't know, I guess it was
Yeah.
and then I guess I don't know when exactly it started, but I would say around the time Vanoss Gaming played it where it was just like he was just kind of zeroed in on a lot of stuff. Like, I don't remember that being in Prop Hunt. I don't remember that being in Prop Hunt. I don't remember that being in Prop Hunt. It's
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah, it's like, wow, it's so fun.
Hmm.
yeah.
Oh, but can we talk about another 5-year elephant in the room right now regarding gaming?
Sure. Sure.
This generation sucks balls.
Oh, yeah. Fuck
Yes,
yes. God.
Yes. Yes.
This
Jesus
generation
fucking
sucks.
Christ.
Like, I mentioned it
This
before,
generation-
but dear
Yes.
God, like, the scalper incident, the fucking...
Oh,
God, bro, like, since we're on the whole thing of gaming, bro, like, I don't know if I'm the only one to see this, but I knew somebody who I used to be friends with who was making a big deal about Cyberpunk 2077, and they were trans, by the way. That does nothing to do with the story, but that just all you need to know about that is that by all accounts, it's just sort of the context. They were trans, and they were making some notes about like Cyberpunk 2077. They weren't sure how to feel about it. They heard like this one article about CD Projekt Red, and they just went on this notion of, if you buy Cyberpunk 2077, you're transphobic, and it's just like,
What?
What the heck?
this was a couple weeks after I think they announced pre-orders and whatnot. It's just like,
Oh, it
my
was because
fucking
of that
God.
one. It was because of that one in-game advertisement, wasn't it?
I don't
Probably.
even think it was. It was like some article about CD Projekt Red, and they were just going off about, oh, so the company's transphobic, and I'm just like, so if you buy it, you're transphobic, and it's just like, okay, this is not the J.K. Rowling shit. This is 2020, and we're all quarantined, and we needed a fucking distraction.
Yeah.
Last time I checked on
dear
anything regarding that,
Lord.
they fucking deleted that whole thread, and I wonder why.
Probably because of all the freaking backlash. Probably.
Either that, or it was the fact that by all accounts they realized, oh shit, maybe people aren't transphobic because they pay for video games. Also,
Give me a second. Be right back. Hold that
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah.
also, 2077, dear God, man, fucking CD Projekt Red, you would at least needed another 3 years in the oven.
Yeah. My sibling has the game, and like, basically, yeah, I kind of see it.
Oh man.
Oh.
But thank God they like did a bit of patching and all that such, and they released Phantom Liberty. So
Yeah, Edge Runners is a lot more entertaining than the game. I'm gonna just say that.
thank you, thank you so much. I freaking love Edge Runners, man.
It is really good.
Do you want to talk about, speaking of Cyberpunk, do you want to talk about the massive turnaround this game had with
Yeah.
2.0?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were
Where
just
it's
talking
actually, oh yeah,
Yeah.
where it's actually a fun game to play now, and it's sort of what they promised, not entirely.
Yeah.
I tried playing it when I got a Steam Deck, and it was just like, it just was not resonating.
It's because there's still a lot of 1.0 DNA in there,
Yeah.
and I feel like if you give their next Cyberpunk project, which is probably 2090, because that's when the next big event in the Cyberpunk mythos happens.
Mm-hmm.
Because shockingly, yeah, this game does have lore.
I mean,
But yeah,
Oh my God.
I'm a massive TTRPG fan of Cyberpunk. I'm sorry, I can go on and on about it, but
but
the entire point is, yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
it's that if you're curious, like if you liked what you played in Phantom Liberty, and if you liked there's some stuff in 2.0 I can get down with, I would say give their next Cyberpunk project a try, because that will probably be the one that they actually got everything they wanted to do in, assuming they get like the funding and the time for it, and they don't
Maybe.
have to restart it 5 times because a celebrity wanted to join. That's a
Maybe.
rumor, but it kind
Yeah.
of shows.
Maybe.
Fair enough.
Like I was looking at literally like before you came into the call, I was literally just saying like I think Edge Runners is more entertaining than the game.
Yeah, but
Thank
that's because
you.
yeah, but you see, that's because Edge Runners has the DNA of the TTRPG, the feeling of being like part of this group, that you're not like very super important chosen
Yeah.
ones. You're just trying to survive at Night City, and sometimes you get like super cool weapons and tech to do that. Did you know that in Cyberpunk there is able to be like sculpted humans you can like they're called exotics, and they're like basically essentially like furries or like mythical creatures or superhumans.
Wasn't Rebecca supposed to be one of those?
An
think
exotic,
so.
I would definitely assume she is because of her skin tone and her eyes, because those
And
are
her
not
hair.
like
Also,
yeah, and her hair, and that's not like
Also, I just love the fact that by all accounts, Cyberpunk 2077 Night City, a game in a city full of people where they can have cybernetic implants and whatever the fuck they can to improve their body. Becky is just hanging it out, just full on, like all natural.
Yeah,
she confident.
she confident with herself.
She just like me for real. No, she's not. I'm not confident.
Yeah, we're getting there. Anyway. It was man, it was just man,
It's just it feels like the issue with the ending of Edge Runners is the only thing I take problem with, because in the lore, Smasher is not supposed to be the character that Edge Runners portrays him to be. He is technically the boogeyman of Night City, but he's not like this monstrous killing machine. He's more like a tyrant that follows like lawful good to an extreme. Like, it doesn't matter what your reason for committing that crime was, you're getting blown away.
I guess you could say that, but also at the same time, you could also say, by all accounts, what was David doing in order to get to Lucy? He was breaking
very
into
true, but at the
Arasaka
same-
headquarters and whatnot. It's
That's
just
very
like,
true, but they treat him like he's a mercenary, and he's not. He's like Militech's top agent.
that is true. That is true. I like
Yeah.
if they remove the whole scene of him, like them sort of like enlisting him as a mercenary or something, you would just
Yeah,
argue by all
see-
accounts a force of nature.
I could see Arasaka being like, "Don't worry, we've called somebody in," and they show Iron Smasher, and he's like, "All right, let's
Imagine
get
if
this."
it was V.
If it was me, no, well, V would freaking body everyone in Edge Runners.
Yeah, like I'm just like, imagine if that was the climax of fucking David going against V. Like that would have been that would have been crazy.
For a let me put it this way, for a Cyberpunk sequel, right? Let's assume it is 2090. Would you want them to give Lucy a cameo?
I
No, I personally
Yeah,
would.
it feels
let's not
like
Borderlands 3 this.
right,
Yeah.
right, because you'll have new people playing this game, and people who only played the game being like, "Who the heck is this character? What's the game treating it like she's so important?"
I'm fine. Here's the thing. I'm fine with a cameo if, by all accounts, they want to in 2090 they have a DLC that is just full on Cyberpunk Edge Runners, just a retelling in the game. Like by all accounts, give people that context.
You want FF7 remake Edge Runners where David actually wins.
That or just fucking like whatever Dragon Ball Z does. Fucking the Kakarot treatment.
No, just do Sparking Zero Edge Runners.
Yeah, just get command grab by Am Smasher.
Also, I want to address one thing in a scene that Lucy does that should have been in the game, but it's not. She uses her wires like as almost like Spider-Man web sling, but they do cut through stuff.
Yeah.
And that is canon. People with those can do that. I was like, that would have made traversing that city really cool.
Yeah.
Like different traversing mechanics.
I don't know if that would have been a bitch to implement or not, though.
They had to get rid of wall running, so it definitely would have been.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like.
So let's talk about how this generation of gaming sucks.
Well, let's do you guys want to start with the PS5? How it has like one game right now?
That being Astrobot.
Yeah, but that came later.
5 years later.
The only reason at this point that I would want to get a PS5 to this day is just Astrobot and Forspoken. That's it.
Fair enough.
You know what? Yeah, and you know what? I think everybody was too hard on Forspoken.
Like, by all accounts, that's the reason why I want to get Forspoken, is because I think people just gave it so much shit. I'm just like, alright, I'm gonna play it and form my own opinion. Because I played the demo with my brother, and I loved the hell out of it.
Yeah, I don't think the story was anything really special, but I do find the gameplay really fun and the world really intriguing.
I don't need a special story or anything, and it's just like, look, I just need a fun game.
I think basically the reason why people were shitting on it is because of the dialogue.
Because she's a woman.
Yeah, but Hi-Fi Rush had the same dialogue, and it was perfectly fine.
Yeah,
Hi-Fi Rush had the same type of
Insomniac
dialogue.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, it had the same type of dialogue.
Could you also put in
the Guardians of the Galaxy game had the same type of dialogue, and people loved it.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, like
That game was pretty good too. Also,
people want to give, like, oh, the main character is shit because, like, oh, she has such unrealistic dialogue. The one out of context scene of "Did I just do that?" Like, taking it completely out of context with the fact that she just realized that she could shoot stones out of her hand and whatnot, and the adrenaline just wore off, and just like,
And
next
then-
you're gonna tell me I can fly. Well, that's gonna be crazy. Oh, good to know there's a line in the sand.
then she
Good
can
job
fly
in the
later.
sand, man.
Oh, spoilers.
I don't care.
But yeah, it's basically just Infamous with magic instead of superpowers. I don't know why everyone was so hard on it.
If it was an anime and it was a Japanese pale-skinned boy, I'm pretty sure, by all accounts, it wouldn't really matter.
Yeah, they had romance options, and it was called Persona 6.
Mm-hmm. God, that was a big thing in the last 5 years. Fucking...
So where is Persona 6? Jeez.
We are coming
The
up on 10
milking
years.
of Persona 5.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I mentioned this at the
who cares,
start.
really?
Like, I went... Like, it was an immediate 180. It was just, like, the start of 2020, I went from the most die-hard Persona fanboy and whatnot, and then I went into Kagura's server, and I just did a 180.
I love Persona. I hate Persona. He's Eddie Brock in that scene of Spider-Man 3. Please, making you kill Persona.
By all accounts, I think it was just so much of a culmination of everything. It was just like, next to the fact that so many of us were losing our jobs and going unemployed. You don't know what that's like, Smug, but still. Next to, it's just that, but the fact that so many of us paid money for a full, like, $70 game that was just the same fucking game we had on PlayStation 4 with just extra expansion and DLC.
I'm saying you like that 2 hours of extra content, but you have to do this special new thing to even access, by the way, or else if you just play the vanilla game again.
You know, like, it's... Because the thing, by all accounts, I have said this...
It felt...
It's not...
I'll let you go ahead.
Yeah, it's not a bad story. I like the characters. I like the story. The problem is not the content. The problem is the lack of seeding in that content. Because...
You see...
Even
I would
from
argue
the,
then
even
that
from
it
the
is...
get-go, I
I
will
would
say
argue then
this.
that it is a problem with the content.
I will say this, even about Persona 5. As much problems as I will have, the fact that they seeded in the last big plot twist from the get-go is just like, I love that attention to detail. I love the fact that by all accounts it really does feel like I put so much time and effort and, like, genuine, like, dedication into this game that that story finally feels like all of it is paying off. With Royal, it feels like the exact same thing as before, but the occasional, hey, by the way, new content exists. By the way, new content exists. It's just like...
Do you want to know my really hard take on Persona 5 Royal?
Go.
Yeah.
I think, and this really gets real mad at me when I say this, but I can't describe it any other way. Persona 5 Royal, if you've played the original, it's a scam. Because there's no reason.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. It
There's no reason.
absolutely is. I have bought Persona 5 on the PlayStation 3. I have bought Persona 5 on the PlayStation 4. Mind you, I got the PlayStation 4 in 2020. I've had the PlayStation 3 for like I've been having the PlayStation 3 since into 2020. So literally I just transitioned from that to the PS4. So meaning I literally just went from playing Persona 5 to Persona 5 again. It's a scam on the PlayStation by all accounts. Now, I will admit.
Here's the thing.
I will admit.
I'm sorry, I'll let you finish, but give me 1 second.
All right,
Because I have to draw this conclusion, right? Of where I was taking it at. The issue is that Persona 5 was readily available. You could play it. There was everything. Now compare that to when the last game got its re-release and it got its new content.
Thank you.
There was a reason to buy Persona 4 Golden, right? Because the last time you played this game was on the PS2.
Yeah.
I feel like if a Royal came out, maybe, I don't know, today, 2025, right? People would be like, oh, cool, Royal, right? It's got new content to it, and everybody would be so much easier on it.
Yeah, I probably would still say this did not need to be like a fully priced game in this day and age.
Just
but
like
maybe I would have given it the benefit of the doubt at least that the significant amount of time that it had to come out, because in that same year, what else came out? Persona 5 Strikers. By all accounts, the best sequel. Use of your money for another Persona 5 game.
Yeah, because it was not only just like a Persona, the more Persona 5, it was an extremely good action RPG with actual complex morality issues.
And best bet, it doesn't recycle the original story.
It doesn't recycle the story. That's the best part. Because this could have so easily fell into, like, oh, Alice is just like the Kamoshida stand-in now, or so on, right?
Yeah, and it didn't. And it's just, like, also, mixture of, like, Royal and Strikers had 2 new Persona users, and they virtually have no actual impact when it comes to them using it. They really don't. But you cut to Strikers. The two new Persona users, like, they have that time spent into them, and you get to learn more about their story, their actual characters. You get to see what their lives are like. Hell, there's a whole point where you take a detour from your trip and you go see what Zenkiji's life is like, and then his own kid gets used for the villain's evil plan, and that's what triggers the awakening. The AI child you have in your phone, and by all accounts, gets her own point where she actually gains her own sentience and gets her own persona and everything for real. Like, the way they handled it makes me feel like, by all accounts, since they were working on Persona 5 and everything, this felt like a whole new game that had a whole new story to it where they were wanting to tap more into it. And Royal just felt tagged on.
Do you feel like, let me put it this way, do you feel like if Royal got, or not Royal, do you feel if Strikers got the same care and attention and content and length as Royal, do you think that would have been a better sequel? Like, if you were able to actually make that into the new Persona game for Persona 5.
I seriously doubt it. I think it would have been incredibly rough.
I'm not talking like 100 hours, I'm talking maybe, the same length it was, maybe like 20, 30.
Yeah, but I 100% believe it would have been rushed. Like, I think by all accounts, it wasn't just the writing. I think they needed Koei Tecmo to help significantly.
Oh no, yeah. Game. Oh no, I was not talking about in-house. I was talking about here, Koei Tecmo, take this. and do what you want with it, right?
Oh, in that case, honestly, I think it would have been 50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it was an in-house thing, like it was like, oh, Persona 5 Strikers, but it's just, we're just gonna, like, after the events of Persona 5, now there's this extra slew of content after the events of Persona 5, it's just like, yeah, this would have been immediately fucking rushed. And it's just like, I know that because Persona 5 Royal feels so rushed.
Yeah.
One of its main selling points is a character that doesn't show up for like 3% of it.
Mm.
She only showed, and that's not. Do you guys want to get into spoilers about Royal?
I don't care. Bro, it's... Okay, I don't care. Here's the thing. By all accounts, I will just say this. Kasumi Yoshizawa, her story is a worse version of Amori.
It is. It really is.
Pretty much. That's what I've been saying.
Like, by all accounts, I played Amori after Royal. I'm just like, dude, like, Omocat did it better. And then, you know what I did? I read Persona 1, the manga.
There's a manga?
They stole...
Oh, yeah.
Yoshizawa's story is
Persona
100% stolen from Persona 1, the manga.
Yeah, the Persona mangas do not miss, shockingly. Or at least Trinity Soul in the first one.
Like, Persona Trinity Soul was actually pretty good. Like, that was another thing I actually got into.
Detective Naoto was really good too, yeah.
Oh yeah, Detective Naoto was fantastic.
Yeah.
It really made the fan base mad for some reason.
I remember before it was even translated, people going, no, they shouldn't, it's shit. And I'm just like, how the fuck do you know? You don't speak Japanese. I'm reading it, I'm just like, oh, it's because the love interest had personality. That's why you fucking hate it.
Yeah, Naoto actually had chemistry with this character.
Damn character development.
Fucking...
fucking
Trinity Soul. Trinity Soul,
like
written by the same person that did Bible Black, and I significantly love it as a story.
I'm sorry, did you just say Bible?
Bible Black. Yeah, look this up. The same person that written...
That's not how you say it.
Oh my god.
Oh no!
Bible?
You'd say it as Matrosity. Anyway.
Yeah, time draws to be right.
Anyway, by Bile Black.
Note to self, Dart.
By Bile
Note to
Black.
self, do not mention the Hydrocity versus Hydrocity thing.
You just did. Joke's on you. But yeah, the fucking writer to the Futa Demons, the hentai, fucking made honestly, in my opinion, that's what Bible Black is. You can't tell me.
You know, that's the calmest thing about that. That is the tamest thing in that series.
Yeah.
The fuck?
You cook like a chicken.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
No,
it's
yeah.
like the same writer though. It was just like he went to work on Trinity Soul and was like his like the handling of the story mixed with like the handling of characters and even some events is just like they replace drug addiction for like a matter of like personas, and it's just like it's a really good story.
Ooh.
But yeah. Fucking...
But they... Okay, so... I'm not ready for 5 more years of Persona 4 discourse.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because the revival's happening.
Kanji isn't gay and Naoto isn't trans. End of story.
How dare you? Unfollowed.
Bro,
So
that's
is this
the
a
whole
great time to
thing.
get into Persona?
Like, bro, you fucking like you fucking missed the entire goddamn point of Persona 4. Like the whole. And I've said this before. If it happened in the epilogue when everyone went through their shit,
nothing would have really changed about the actual story. Like,
The thing
by all
about
accounts.
the thing about that is, and I know we're off the topic of 5 years, right?
We're not really.
But
It's just
the-
like because
Yeah, but the thing
Golden
is,
did come
the
out
thing
2020.
is, go ahead. The thing is, right? Because they literally make it very obvious in that story that, oh, the dungeons and the shadows are what people perceive you as, or what you're afraid people will perceive you as,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, and then people just take that and run with it for some reason of, this is the real selves, right? You're not realizing that that could be, a lie.
Yeah. Yeah,
Also,
like-
where are the shadows in Persona 5?
Oh, so this fun little Easter egg and whatnot, this fun little callback to 4, we're just gonna have it be reserved for a vast majority of the villains and Futaba.
Yeah. Why does Futaba have one? Why do the Phantom Thieves not? Why does Personas and lore keep changing?
I'm like asking, what? First it was like shooting yourself in the head. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
You know,
Then like
the
crushing
methods,
cards, and now it's
the me-
like ripping off your mask. It's like
No,
the,
no, no,
me-
no, no,
the
no, no, no.
methods to summon don't bother me.
Yeah.
It's the
That's fine.
weird lore wheels they keep making up that Persona users can't have shadows. But in 4, it's like, well, you can only get your Persona by confronting your shadow. And I was like, what are we doing here, guys?
yeah, Persona 4, Persona lore is
Perso-
confusing.
You think that's confusing? Wait till I start explaining the Assassin's Creed lore.
Oh Jesus Christ!
The shadows was fine.
Hey,
That's still
Persona
one topic.
5, remember when their whole conversation was focused around whether or not the Phantom Thieves were evil or good? And instead of actually focusing on that in terms of nuance and whatnot, you instead decide, by all accounts, to have your major villains just be exaggerated cartoon villains?
Oh
I get what
God.
they're going. I get what they're going for. Whatever. Yeah, this is the exaggerated version of them, of course, because this is like the side that nobody really gets to see. But it's also at the same time of you could have done this better. I'm not asking for sympathetic villains
Yeah,
concerning these topics.
and
I'm
also they
asking
try
for
to
like
act
complexity.
and also they try to act like, oh, the shadow
Yeah, are we
selves
doing the
and the real selves are like intertwined one and the same, and it's just like, no, they're fucking not.
God.
Guys, are we doing the right thing? Ani, your best friend was assaulted. What are you talking about?
Mm.
She tried to kill herself. I think we're in the right.
You think?
It's dark and I make the joke, but that's literally what happened.
Basically.
I like how I'm the only one in this conversation who was like, I can't add anything because I've never played Persona.
Yeah, I was about to say, you don't fucking play Persona!
Okay, so can we're moving on
Yeah,
from Persona.
I'm just exhausted, honestly.
So indie games, right? I want to talk about an indie game.
I mean,
Oh
we
my
had
God.
some games that come out. I mean, like, this was the year Hades came out.
Yes.
Or not this year. 2020 was the year Hades came out.
Yeah, and we're getting Hades too. Well, it's in early access, but still.
It's almost a
complete.
1.0.
It's almost at 1.0 at this point, honestly. I've tested it. It's pretty much.
There's literally only like the endings are the only thing that are missing.
Yeah, the endings, more of the story content, like it's pretty much all but finished.
Hades 2 was so amazing that I want to talk about and give special note to another game that a lot of people have slipped on, Nine Souls. This is one of
Yes!
the best games I'd ever played.
Yeah.
I've seen someone play through it. Yeah, Nine Souls is really good.
It is so. It really does feel. When I say I want games that feel like they have a soul, That game feels like it has a soul, like it was made by people that actually care about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah, I
played
saw
it. It's
Sozo.
genuinely fun.
Speaking of games that have a soul, Expedition 33.
Yes.
Is that an indie game? I thought that was made by an actual AAA dub.
It's well, it's not AAA, it's AA technically, but it was
Oh,
like
I see.
made with the help. I put this out there because I know some stupid commenter will say, "No, it wasn't." Actually, it was made by 33 people with the help of contractors. Okay.
Oh, I see.
Oh!
That's cool.
Two of its leads were ex-Ubisoft devs who got tired of Ubisoft telling them, no, you can't do this project. So they left, started their own studio, and made one of the greatest games of this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
And they even recruited like Ben Starr to voice a character in it.
Yeah,
I
Ben
think.
Starr voices one of the main characters in this game.
Also, Belatra.
Oh yeah, Belatra was so fun.
And another game that came out more recently, Day Everything, which literally includes a whole bunch of. You can literally get anything.
I have literally not started that yet. And I don't know if I want to play this game.
Will be fine to tell you, Ben Starr voices a door.
I'm not shocked. Because that man is entertained by the prospect of a role. It doesn't matter what it is. He'll
Yeah.
take it.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
talk about real events, and it just gets like depressing after depressing. But we talk about
Yeah.
entertainment. We got some real gems. Like we haven't even
Right.
talked about the biggest elephant in the room to come out of COVID.
Fall Guys? I'm kidding.
Inscription?
Prescription?
No,
Delta Ray?
Inscription. No, it's called Inscription.
No.
Oh.
Doom
What's the biggest
Eternal
elephant in
and
the room,
Animal
Sozo?
Crossing.
Oh yeah, Doom Eternal Animal Crossing. That was the funniest time. Because they
You would
released on the
think,
same
like,
day.
I love the fact that you would think, at a glance, knowing the internet, these motherfuckers would have, just by all accounts, been like, oh
Hated
my
each
god,
other.
hated each other. Oh god, Doom Eternal is what happens when you're on crunch. Animal Crossing is happens when you don't crunch. It's just like, you think that they would fucking hate each other, but no, we have fucking crossovers. We have stories of fucking death metal fans and junkies and whatnot buying a copy of Animal Crossing, and guys and girls and whatnot who are just like guys and girls and whatnot who look like a bunch of nerds buying a copy of Doom Eternal. It's just like, it's so fucking fantastic. It's so wholesome. I love it.
Yeah. Can I mention that the Trollkeys even made a song about it, though?
Yep. And again, the amount of animations that come out of it. Pringus made a fucking animation. Joe Cat made an animation. The one animation where, like, fucking Doom Die is just throwing Isabella up in the air like a happy little girl, come across a bunch of demons, rip and tear. It's just so good.
Yes. This is one of my favorite things to come out on the internet the past 5 years.
Can I talk about one of, it is a AAA game, but one of the other games I absolutely adored in the last 5 years?
Sure.
Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That checks out.
That
Yeah.
game
It was okay.
consumed my life.
Honestly, if I had to guess, it was either gonna be Elden Ring or Baldur's Gate 3.
And Baldur's Gate 3 is also up there. That was the next one I was going to mention. So knows me way too well.
Yeah, because I've heard you talk. I've heard you talk about it.
Man, yeah, I will pop off about Elden Ring and Baldur's Gate 3. And it has mod support now, if you want to play it on console.
Yeah.
Mod
Which
support
means you
and
can
on
add it-
console don't mix, bro.
Yo, it's actually got some good ones.
No, okay, look, I don't deny that it has good mods, but mod support and console don't mix.
Well, to each their own.
Meanwhile, let me play on my PC console, the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
version. Do you want to talk about the Xbox, the quote unquote massive quotes Xbox handheld? That's just basically a Steam Deck but smaller.
I mean, I
Yeah.
think that's all there is to it by all accounts. I think, if
Yeah.
anything, the
Yeah.
more interesting thing is the fact that by all accounts, Xbox is thinking towards it being more integrated to PC.
Right. Xbox wants to just make PCs now, and I was like, why have you just not been doing that?
Like, honestly, I'm like, I think the reason is just because we didn't have anything like the Steam Deck. Because by all accounts,
Yeah, just
I think by all accounts I think they kind of saw in, if I was more so in Xbox shoes, they saw what Sony was doing and trying to copy Nintendo, and they were just like, okay, if we don't do what Sony's doing, we should get along fine, right? And to their credit, they have been getting along pretty smoothly, relatively. But they see like the Switch come out and just like, oh man, like that's such an ingenious idea. We should do a handheld device. But I mean, who would buy it over the Switch? And then Steam comes right out of left field with the deck where, oh, it's a PC. Oh, it can play an entire PC library. Oh, it has emulation capabilities. It has modding capabilities. I'm like, oh, wait, hold on. They have something there.
Okay, can we, let's see. I feel like, if I want to go back to a previous point you just made,
Yeah.
and it kind of it's very extremely telling of the issue with Xbox right now. You said that Xbox was watching and they were like, well, as long as we don't do what Sony does, we'll be fine. They didn't do what Sony does. The issue is they didn't do anything else. And that's the issue.
Yeah. Like,
Yes, they didn't do what Sony did. Yes, they're more consumer friendly, but they didn't do anything else. They're just expecting that goodwill to actually do something for them instead of capitalizing on it.
Yeah, it's not gonna stop us from criticizing Xbox, especially considering the biggest Xbox show is not in the call right now. But I mean, it's just like, by all means, it's just like Nintendo, by all accounts, was for a long time now spearheading sort of the video game industry in terms of where you should put your money. But even then, with stuff like the Switch, like I think people
Until recently,
like even recently, yeah. But with the Switch, it's just like people were noticing, by all accounts, just sort of the drawbacks of just getting a Switch in current day. And by all accounts, like I mean, then there was the PS4, which had a library of games, but dear God, how much do I have to pay for multiplayer? Fuck that shit. Xbox is just kind of the middle of the road by all accounts.
It's kind of just, they have Game Pass, but it's like, okay, but what do you have on Game Pass? Old games you've probably played before, and some obscure titles. Yeah, maybe an indie game or two that actually looks interesting every now and then.
Yeah, and it also adds to the biggest problem I have with these current
games, yeah.
The current gen gaming is that not necessarily rehashing older games and whatnot, but more so, oh, you want me to be able to do anything with my friends? You want me to be able to play these old games? I have to pay your subscription service?
Clearly, right?
If I was going to subscribe to a platform that was borderline wanting me to pirate games and everything, I just go and get a Netflix subscription.
So,
I'm just like, why would I... Here's the thing. Why would I subscribe to current day gaming to play multiplayer and everything when, one, Steam just lets me do that free of charge, and two, there's a library of games from previous generations that I could just pick up for significantly cheaper, a fraction of what it costs for a new console nowadays, and just play that shit.
Okay, I'm going to say something that's probably going to get me murdered by everyone who's probably played it. Psychonauts 2 was mid.
What?
I did not like it.
I mean,
okay.
I
What
felt like it was
specifically?
fine.
Mhm.
I felt like it felt more, I don't know, it felt phoned in. And I was like, well, we can make one now and people will buy it. And it felt like that one had worn off. It's weird.
I
Maybe I
mean,
should play it again because I feel like I was being unfair to it the first
the
time.
only defense I could probably make is I think it's mainly just a kids game.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, the first one was a kid's game too, let's be honest. But that's because kids were playing it. That's the reason everybody liked it. So, like, it was a kids game. We played it as
yeah, the
kids.
kids game where the main character says hell, and one of the people that you go after in Psychonauts is basically a reference to MK Ultra.
It can be about things.
You can do things.
Okay, it can be two things.
By the way, anyone wondering? Yeah, no, I'm not exaggerating. Look this up. Milkman McCarthy is
literally
absolutely
is.
a
He's
reference
not
to Ted
even kidding.
Kaczynski.
He's not even kidding.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
like Milkman McCarthy is the Unabomber. That's not even a joke.
There. So
Well,
here's
his
the
milk is
other.
delicious.
Yeah, here's the other thing, right? Have you guys noticed over the past 5 years, Horizon cannot catch a break?
Forza
Oh my
Horizon?
god.
Yeah. The series, it always releases right next to something that's just going to absolutely bury it.
Even when it doesn't and it's got a time to breathe, I'm just gonna be real here. Horizon looks boring.
Yeah.
As someone who's played it, I would say just skip the first game, and if you're going to play one, play Forbidden West, because at least it feels like they worked out some of the kinks of the first game.
In this day and age, it just I'm gonna be real. It looks like God of War Ragnarok at home.
Like, well, God of War Ragnarok is just basically, hey, do you like the last, so let's do it in the North setting.
I don't remember ever really touching Horizon Zero Dawn.
Imagine
But on a
if you
positive
did,
note-
and then you
Horizon.
just realize, huh? Well, that's
It's
concerning.
it's so forgettable. That's not even a fear. You probably did play it, and then
Your
it just
main
memory
character is
holds.
played by Ashley Birch. I should like this game.
But
So
it just
why
feels like
don't I?
well, it kind
You
of
know
feels
what's-
like what a few console generations behind of just like what we have been getting.
Yeah. Do you know what's so funny about Horizon and the hilarious irony of it?
What?
What?
It's the one series I feel like is balancing its gameplay and its actual being a video game with its cinematic elements. Unlike something like God of War Ragnarok, which really does just feel like a press forward to movie.
Hey, you want to know how to solve these puzzles? Don't worry. Kratos' son will tell you how to solve these puzzles at every opportunity.
Jumping off of that to talk about a game that I actually did like. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You go, Smug.
Oh, yeah, it was a completely different other game I was going to talk about, so just finish your thought.
It's just like, don't forget to add in the boy.
Boy.
Oh, yeah, boy. To talk about a game that I do like, though, from 2022, that everybody slept on, Marvel's Midnight Suns is such a good game.
Oh fuck yeah!
Oh my god!
I gotta
It's
replay
such a
it.
good game. Everybody slept on that game for some reason, just because it even me, admittedly, even me, because at first I was like, I don't know, card game, and then I played it and I was like, it's freaking awesome.
I think that's
Made by,
why,
like, what,
by
the
all
same
accounts, it was a
developers
card
of
game.
XCOM.
Like, yeah, I think that's why it was, because it was a card game. I think that's just why.
It's like XCOM, but with cards.
Mm.
But it's actually got like that actual cool element of messing with the environment and using your superhero's abilities. It's also that it also has this really weird, I don't know how else to explain it, and I hate myself for having to use it, Persona-ish element where you can talk to your talk to the heroes and like become friends with them. But more no hormones and no romances, so this element is just
metaphor
weirdly
aspect.
here. Yeah. Yeah, metaphor, there we go. But it's not as good as metaphor.
I can think honestly of a game that, by all accounts, in the last 5 years, people have slipped on.
Unicorn Overlord.
That too.
Eh?
Marco and the Galaxy Dragon.
Market Hall.
Yes.
You showed me this game, and I wish I still had the screenshot. The first thing you introduced with this series, when it actually starts being a visual novel, is a clown holding a girl's mom at gunpoint
Yep.
with a squirt gun.
Yep.
That's not a joke. And you can't tell if this is supposed to be taken seriously or if this is a joke.
The main characters save cancer.
They did second cancer. And then a character just like is eternally bleeding out because they never reference stopping the bleeding or bandaging her up. They never reference that. He just, I got better.
Yep. Also, has some of the best goddamn animations you will ever see in a
Absolutely.
visual novel alone.
There are
I
so
will
many
say-
hilarious.
It is a fever dream. What can I say?
There's so many hilarious elements about this game that you think are going to be important or explained at some point, but they never do, and it's just like they just exist. It's like, by the way, the president's a kid. Huh?
What?
Yep.
Okay, well, definitely gonna pick
Explain?
that up.
No.
Let's go see our broker, Collection Joe. Oh, he's a cartoon mouse. Anyway.
You gotta talk about the random cat that just appears in a mech suit.
Cat in a Metal Gear.
There's
one
a-
of the characters is named Freesia.
There is a moment in this game where a sentient calendar starts making people relive fake memories, and they fix it by body slamming this character to death.
No, they don't. They fix it by shooting him in the fucking head.
Yeah, wait a minute. I might be thinking something else.
Of a body
That's-
slam?
That's even funnier. They just shoot. It's so funny because the game can literally switch on a dime from being like this comedy, goofy, funny to immediately like serious and heart touching.
And it works. It fucking works.
Oh no, it absolutely works.
Don't forget the zoo. Don't forget the zoo where every animal says unicorn.
Doesn't everyone start like talking in emojis at one?
Sorry.
No.
Okay, so
I
you're
don't know.
giving me one of the best recommendations to play a game.
Also,
Here's another
Helltaker.
one. Yeah, I was about to say. I was about to say. Here's a few other ones, right? Helltaker was one, and
Haven.
I want to give a special note to Haven for indie games, but for AAA specifically, I want to say Dead Island 2 was shockingly a lot more fun than I thought it would be. It was a really good, like, linear action RPG for a zombie game. And that's all I really wanted out of it.
Yeah.
But Haven has some of the best romance writing you'll ever get in a video game.
Yeah, like I have said at length, I am exhausted about Persona. This, by all accounts, was just like, this is one of the games where it's just like, yeah, this is a lot more along the lines of what I wanted for Persona and something like its social sim. Like, this is something that, all accounts, I did want. And then Helltaker, by all accounts, like, You talk about creator wanting porn of their OCs, you get your fucking wish.
There's so much of it now. There is so much.
By the way, that's another thing that's come in the wake of 2020. Apparently it's popular to just be like a degenerate now.
I don't understand
Yeah.
why.
Yeah, like
There's even now a new term for it.
Gooner.
Goon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was cooler.
It was, and now it's just Gooner.
I'm not using your Gen Alpha brain rot. I refuse.
At this point,
Yeah,
I'm just
no.
convinced a lot of this brain rot shit is made just to get past YouTube censors.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I think that. But okay, so I can kind of pinpoint where this fucking started, by all accounts, back in 2020. But around that time, we were getting the rise of actual VTubers, not just Japanese virtual idols. We were getting like people like Girl DM. We were getting people like Takahata.
You'd be shocked what people will say when their faces are actually publicly available. Well, some of them are, but
Yeah, and it was just like, I remember 2020 being the one year where it was just like, hey, maybe we should pass on No Nut November, which led into rise of more people visiting the Orange site, to which gave rise to people coming across such stellar writing of films such as What Are You Doing, Stepbrother?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Listen. If you're
Look.
going to be one in private. Okay? Nobody's judging you privately.
Look, I'm just
It's
not
when-
even
it's
that.
when
If
you
you're
have-
gonna do it,
it's
just
when you-
fucking do it. Like,
If you're going to do it and be like really obnoxious and annoying about it and fill my entire timeline with stuff, I'm definitely going to even on
Yeah.
Blue Sky, I'm going to block you. I'm going to mute you.
yeah, this is why I can't look at certain content creators anymore, despite that I know that they actually make some good stuff. Like, this is why I don't really watch Tectone anymore. Because, dude, he's just like, anytime I just see the dude watching anything like anime related, I'm just thinking, okay, the dude's just gonna fucking goon. But it's just like,
Yep.
it's become such a popular thing, and I'm just like, it just genuinely, and this is even a problem people in the industry have talked about, where it's just like, it feels like a lot of people just don't take this shit like all that seriously. They just think, oh, if you are into adult media, like, by all accounts, you're a gooner, and you have to be like down bad for everything and everyone in every given fucking moment. And it's just like, there's a time and a place for this shit, and you can discuss it. Like, okay, for instance, we can take me and Smug, we can discuss something right now, Subverse.
Right, exactly, because that's an adult game, right?
Yeah, it's an adult game I actually got into not too long ago, and
I'm shockingly actually very invested in this character, these awful people, and their world.
yeah,
Mm.
it's
Okay.
of like, how do I describe it? It's like,
It's
it gives a
it's
vi- it
Mass
gives
Effect. It's Mass Effect, but
yes,
in a
Mass
way.
Effect. Thank you. It's Mass
but
Effect.
it feels like a parody, yeah.
It's Mass Effect done by Rule 34.
But it's actually entertaining though.
Yeah, it's entertaining, and it's actually pretty decent as far
It
as
feels
like
It
adult
feels
games
like
go.
this is what happens if you let Vivzy pop right. Yes, Mass Effect.
Also, yeah.
Yeah.
That whole bit where they're talking about the fucking idols.
But yeah, that was so funny. It was like, I don't know what's going on here.
And just
I
like
was
everyone popping,
agreeing with-
and just like everyone popping out of the fucking woodwork, like, what the fuck is this? Oh, are you seriously telling me you're not on team?
Yeah, on team me, whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was agreeing with Fortune by that point. I was like, can you just shut up? Just move on.
And then the more people came in, I was just like, oh, okay, I'm in for this. I'm in all the way.
Yeah, that one time Huntress actually got like her infected, and she just had
Yeah, the
random
fucking
words just
voice,
spewing
the
out.
fucking voice box modded to say like fucking whatever the hell.
Yeah, it was just the most off the wall nonsense.
It's just like, well, it seems we'll have to set up camp for that. Take cockballs!
Shit, it was great.
God. The fucking
Oh gosh.
just
There's we can go into that, but it's like
yeah.
I don't want to discuss it and spoil it in case people actually want to play it because they get released
Spoil
like
the
very
plot of a
recently.
porn game.
No, not because it's very good or very deep or anything. It's
Oh,
just
no.
like I don't want to sit here and tell all the jokes.
Yeah, no. But it's just, at the same time, it's just like they even make a note about that. Who complains about the story in a porno?
Weirdos online, that too.
It's just, but it's just, it brings it back to where the whole thing where it's just like you have people in the industry like Cottontail, Project Melody, Kinkymation.
Yeah.
Like, these are people that by all accounts, like, yes, they make adult works, they make adult projects and whatnot.
But they know when to behave themselves, basically. Act like a
And
normal.
it's just like there's more to them than just that. There's more to
Right, than just
Cottontail
that.
than just it just like I'm Dommy Mommy, like I'm flirting with people while playing Valorant. It's just like no, she's a very like funny individual. Also, I guess we scared off Scion. Did she not like us
Dang, that's
talking? Did she not like us talking about the porn game?
You know, she went to go download it and like. She was like, oh man, I gotta get into that.
How much is the game on Steam? Let's check.
How long you gotta be?
Apparently-
Long enough!
Apparently it's like, apparently it's like 60% off right now.
Oh, shit,
It's
no way.
actually, as terms of adult games go, it's actually really good. But
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's actually got good gameplay to it. And again, the characters are hilarious if you do not take this game that serious.
yeah, like genuinely, like I left a review saying, look, I'm a degenerate. I knew what I was getting into. I liked it. It's one of those
Actually,
games
what
where it's
you
just
stated.
like, it's one of those games where it's just like, it's one of those games where it's just like Tom and Jerry. Follow me on this. When you
Okay.
go into Tom and Jerry, do you expect like the neo-political situation of like Amsterdam or anything, or do you expect a cat and a mouse to fuck with each other for 15 minutes? That's the kind of game where it is. It's just like
That last
you
part
go
might be
into
more literal in subverse.
But you go into it expecting pretty much what you would get out of a porn game. It's just... So, how's installing Subverse? She's not denying it.
What?
That is
You left all of a sudden. I'm just like, and we're just like, oh, she went to go download Subverse.
My internet was playing up on me.
Hey, I'm
She
just
probably
saying,
couldn't
if the
download-
shoe fits.
So she probably couldn't download it because Australia is really weird about adult games.
Okay, I will say this as a pitching point. Are you tired of microtransactions and live service and all that shit? Yeah, this game lets you unlock everything. There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
there we go.
I mean,
$16
imagine,
gold.
yeah, I was gonna say, actually it's 40, I think.
It was like $40 like on launch. Yeah, it's cheap. It's done by a studio that has done. I mean, honestly, if
A
you're
lot
off put,
of content.
yeah, if you're off put by a lot of what the content is in Subverse, you're not
then-
gonna like what they put out.
Well, they do have the normal stuff too, so.
They do have normal stuff, but that's overshadowed by a lot of their other stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
but
that's
like-
like
but-
walking into the steak restaurant and be like, do you have any vegan options?
But yeah, it's just like, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, by all accounts, it's just, it feels like with just being a degenerate being popularized, it's just like I honestly think it's just made a lot of the shit just like worse. It's just made consuming
There
this.
is, yeah, there's a line, right? And I feel like some people are so socially inept, they don't know where that line is. So
Yeah.
they constantly overstep it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's just it's like I have seen time and time again. Anytime there's like anytime there's like people who are in the industry on some level, going like it's just like, for example, Kiki Mation talking about sort of like the you know the limit of regarding like anything like horny or anything, or just like wanting there to be
Yeah,
more like
she does not like
moderation or
Nikkei.
yeah, she doesn't like
Yeah,
Nikkei.
she doesn't like Nikkei.
She doesn't like Nikkei. She has a problem with like one of the newer games coming out that's just full on like degenerate material because they have one of the characters just out in like a bathrobe or some shit. Not even that, and she's just like
There's full on coochie and booty all.
yeah. And there's the one game that was like plagiarizing all of these different anime characters and making them anime girls, regardless of their age in canon.
What?
Yeah, if you haven't heard about that, consider yourself lucky. But yeah, it's just like that. And then there were people that were just going, "Wow, I didn't expect you to be like this." It's just like she's more than just drawing ass and titties.
Also, all of her work feels canon.
I would say that, yeah. She's made a full 2-part like Persona 5 comic that I honestly do like. Has better romance than the actual game.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because they probably act like an actual couple in that.
Yeah. She's also made some work. I think some of them actually like she's made some good interracial stuff. Which she's also been vocal about, like genuinely hating a lot of porn does, where it's just like they make like black people out to be like sexual deviants, and it's just like it's racist, it's fucked up, and it's also it's just kind of like, you know, black people have other personalities other than sex.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like that. Yeah, it's just like the whole thing with like it being popularized is just like yeah, it's just it fucking pick a lane, bro. Like fucking stay in your fucking lane. Like if you want to just be, by all accounts, if you want to like if you want to be like a degenerate and whatnot, just go fucking be a degenerate in your own time, or at the very least, just like if you're going to do it publicly,
Commit to the bit and don't get mad when people call you out.
yeah, commit to the bit, don't get mad about it, and also like fucking know how to spice things up every once in a while. Like if your joke constantly is just like, oh, girl with big titties and big thighs, I hope she sucks on my dick. It's just like, bro, like change the fucking record once in a while. Like,
Yeah.
The joke got stale.
For the record, also, I do love Nikkei, so it's not that I'm
Yes.
hating. It's not that I'm hating, right?
I've
Yeah,
thank God
Cyan
I
understands.
just
what was
yeah,
the quote?
yeah.
I forget about when this was, but it was a quote long ago. But it was just like some people were talking. I think it was the Kagado server. Some people were talking shit about like characters or whatnot, and just like the insert blank here or something. I was just like, if I really give that much about like characters and their relationships outside the game, I just go look up Rule 34.
Whoa. Some people are actually saying that.
No, that
Yeah.
was me. It was like character. It was just like some people were just like, oh man, like I hate this character's relationship in this video game, or it's just like I really wish this character would end up with this character. It's just like if I gave a fuck about any of that, I would just go look at Rule 34 because everyone has an answer to that shit.
What are you talking about? That's a My Hero Academia fan base.
Oh, you mean the My Hero? Oh yeah, I'm gonna shit the main character with this 5-year-old academia fan base.
We try not to talk about that.
Fucking
Oh, Jesus.
genuinely.
So Marvel Rivals, right?
Yeah, Marvel Rivals came out.
Oh yeah, Tekken 8 came out in 2024. It's like
And
really.
also Street Fighter 6 came out like the last 5 years too.
I keep forgetting.
Fucking
I
word.
keep forgetting they're not even like a
Because
year
Stripe
old.
also came out
Yeah.
in the past 5 years too.
Yep.
They're like barely a year old. I keep forgetting that.
Also, like, I know we want to move on to it, but I'm just gonna say regarding Marvel Rivals, hey internet, that's not what a snow bunny is.
Relax.
Like, and
There's
if
a
you are
hope. Oh
and to the
gosh, do you
people
want to
who
go there? Yeah.
people don't know what I'm talking about, thank fucking god you don't know what I'm talking about, but those who do, like, dude, like fucking Emma
Hey,
Frost.
what are you talking
is
about, Sozo? What are you
Yep,
what are you talking
Emma
about, Sozo?
Frost, by
Any
all
blonde
accounts,
hair,
like
blue eyed one.
Yeah, Emma Frost, by all accounts, come out. People are like, oh man, I'm sick and tired of like the snow bunnies coming in, and she's like, that's not what a snow bunny is.
I mean, that says more about you than it does Marvel Rivals.
Mm.
Yeah, and just like, bro, you don't know what snow bunny is, by all accounts, because if you knew, you would have said the alternative, the Queen of Spades.
Like, literally. Like, obviously you do not know.
Yeah.
And obviously
Like,
you do not know how
that's
offensive
why I'm
that term
sick and
actually
tired.
is.
That's why I'm sick and tired of the fucking degeneracy being public. It's like people will throw these terms out and throw this shit out as if they know what the fuck they're talking about. As people who have frequent Rule 34 and been degenerates for years, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You don't.
Like,
Mm.
like, if they canonically have something to, like, for interracial, I can sort of see it, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
Cloak and Dagger. But
Yeah.
Emma Frost just randomly, like, no.
Why know 100%? I would 100% believe because they have seen they are the type of people that like watch Overwatch Rule 34.
Ah, but
Oh,
Those are the
I
type of
keep
people.
God.
forgetting Tracers. What's
Tracer, fucking Widowmaker. Anyway,
But so,
like,
go ahead.
I mean, in the last 5 years, I mean, dude, Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8 have come out, and gotta be honest here, I'm 100% considering switching over to Street Fighter 6.
It's really good.
But to be honest, bestie, I don't know if I'm going to play Street Fighter 6 with you.
The only problem I have with Street Fighter 6 is probably some of like the costumes in the game because they have an in-game store system, and
Thought
it's
you were about to say.
annoying.
I thought you were about to say one specific move on one character, and I was about to say skill issue.
I'm not that. My brother is like that, and my brother also bought Street Fighter 6, even though he played it with me, and he literally said the game was dog shit. So
It's 40
That's it.
bucks.
He didn't play World Tour, obviously.
It's-
World Tour is peak.
It's been
no,
out
he
for.
says he will not
it's
play
been-
any single player content.
It's been out for less than 5 years. It's 40 bucks. It's half the price of Tekken 8. Is that not a reason to get it?
Also, it has an entire single player campaign that lets you meet all the Street Fighter cast.
Mm. It also includes DLC characters.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And from what
Even
I've
if you don't own
seen,
the DLC.
it has a better treatment of create a character than Tekken 8.
Yeah, because you
It
actually
does.
create a character. Yeah, you actually
can-
create a character.
Not only that, but you can actually interact with other people and fight them
You
one-on-one.
can just, yeah, you can run up and just like deck somebody in the face.
Yeah, Tekken 8, I am still waiting for that update.
Give
'cause
it
you
3
could-
years.
Yeah, sure.
Or 4.
Keep telling yourself that, buddy.
It'll be a selling point for Tekken 9.
Fucking, like,
That would come in like 10 years then.
oh my god. I just... Like, Tekken 8, I mean, like, the only reason I keep it around to begin with is just because the modding scene is fucking crazy. That's it. That's really it.
So, do you want to talk about one costume we gave Lily?
Oh yeah, we gave her the black underwear until it broke.
Well, that sounds really Rule 34 related. Okay, until it broke.
Anyway, Dante is Clive in Tekken 8 now.
Anyway, Code has Clive PTSD.
It will still transpire.
Also, I heard recently, bro, like there was a modder that actually made a fucking Dante and Nero DMC 4 skin, and I'm just like, I want to get that when it comes out.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Did you see the story about the Tekken 8 player that was winning just by spamming one button because most people online didn't know how to counter it?
The Eddie Gordo spamming one button
Yeah.
one. Bro, like
Good mode.
And believe it or not, it doesn't get any better with Anna Williams, because you press one button, you legitimately just press one button and you're doing a full combo.
2 kills and everybody, but they buff defense.
They buff defense. Yeah, Street Fighter 6, I mean, like, for the amount of stuff I have heard about it, pros and cons all together, next to the fact that we have a full actual video of Chris G going 13-0 against the guy, I'm just like, yeah, I gotta get this game.
Yeah.
You know what? It's the first game I would literally tell people, even if you're not going to play the online or versus, buy it for the single player.
Yeah, honestly, it's really good.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Tekken 8 single player... God.
Tekken 8 single player has the same issue Mortal Kombat. Modern Mortal Kombat has. It's literally just a movie. It's literally just a movie that feels like token fights are happening.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, at the very least, like, MK9 managed to do that somewhat decently, because it was very much a case of, like...
It was a neat thing, yeah.
It was like a minute 30 of a movie cutscene until it transitioned into the actual fight, pretty much. But,
the thing, I give MK9 a lot more leeway on that, because MK9 still feels like a Mortal Kombat game, and the Mortal Kombat story. 10 does not. 11 does not. And Mortal Kombat 1 definitely does not. I was watching Mortal Kombat 1's cutscenes with Arashi when it was recently new, just to show him. And I was like, okay, does any of this feel like Mortal Kombat? And he said, no, it feels like a cool movie, though. I was like, right.
But I thought that's what Mortal Kombat always has been, because ever since X, they started doing the same thing.
Yeah, see, that's the thing.
X.
Yeah, because the issue with that is NetherRealm really wants to be seen as, like, mature. So they're trying to go the cinematic movie angle and go like, be like, oh, it's like gory or superhero stuff. And it's like, you can't just embrace the stupidity of Mortal Kombat.
Meanwhile, Ed Boon over here just wanted to rewrite everything just because he wants to.
Yeah, I feel that Dubis clip will remain
The only
amazing.
complaint he brought back was, you got my voice wrong.
Yeah, literally, you got my voice wrong. He's not even kidding. That's literally how MK1 is. Because guess what? MK1 ends with a reset too.
Oh, God.
MK1 ends with a reset? No, I think it just ends on, like, a climax that will never happen.
No. Here's the thing about that. MK1 opens the multiverse, and in the very same game, slams that door closed and was like, man, that was weird, huh? I was like, okay, so what was the story then?
There was supposed to be more with the game, but the problem was it fumbled.
Of course it fumbled. Of course it fumbled. Did you see the Switch version?
Motherfucker,
I'm surprised they even got a version of that. Listen, I am a huge fan of MK1, so I'm sorry.
No, I'm not judging you for that.
Okay.
It's this Switch The Switch one, it just sounds like he probably looked up the Switch one version of Mortal Kombat.
Also, we've been
that
talking this
version
entire
too.
time. You know what we've not been talking about by all accounts? The
What?
evolution of rhythm game fighting.
Yes!
Because No Straight Roads came out in 2020. We got Soundfall, I think, in 2022, and then Hi-Fi Rush.
And we're getting a sequel to
Yep, we're getting a
No Straight
sequel.
Roads.
Yeah, we're getting a sequel to No Straight Roads.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. But we're also getting another one. It's called Unbeatable, which is really
Where's
cool.
my Hi-Fi Rush sequel?
That's never coming out.
It's fermenting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
yeah. Oh,
Tango
no,
Gameworks
no.
has been.
Yeah.
No.
I know where it is. It's in the same place that Crash Bandicoot and Spyro and all of the actually unique IPs are.
The first
They're
comment I
in the
see
live
up my
service
ass.
mines. Yeah, live
Well, I
service
mean,
mines.
Tango Gameworks have been bought by Krypton, so who knows?
That's very true.
Yeah. It's just interesting that like this type of idea hadn't been tackled really as well before. I mean, like No Straight Roads, I would have to go and revisit it, but it's even looking back, I think it's
It's
still
actually pretty interesting.
It's interesting, but it is kind of rough, still kind of rough around the edges. In a
Oh
lot
no,
of
it's
ways.
definitely rough, but it is pretty interesting.
Oh, yeah.
It's got passion to it, so I was like, I can give it a pass.
I will say it is one of those games that unfortunately suffers in a lot of ways from the just read the manga kind of deal.
Mm.
Because there's a
Yeah.
lot of details they don't tell you in the story.
But at
Yeah.
the same time, it's just so enjoyable
Oh,
from
it is.
beginning to
Mhm.
end.
Yeah, and they have like it also introduced me to a number of like different artists. Like it got me into funk fiction.
Hey, do you guys
Yeah.
want to play a game that was made by a once legendary creator who did tax fraud and insider trading and then tried to make a video game?
What?
Sonic Frontiers.
It's beyond
Yeah!
Balan Wonderworld.
Oh,
Oh.
for fuck!
Well,
You
yeah,
wanna
I'll
talk
take
about why-
Frontiers.
You were
I
talking
was
about
so
why
happy there
this
for a second.
game. This game's story was so awful that they literally wrote a novel about. No, this is where all the story is. It's like, what? They didn't put that in the game.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, that's right.
It's so
Nights at
funny.
Home.
Yeah.
We need a good game. Okay, so let's just take Nights and do none of that. Balan Wonderworld.
Did you-
No, I Wonderworld.
Did you ever watch Tear of Grace play Balan Wonderworld? It was
Yeah.
so funny.
Yeah.
Just the fucking woman it becomes a widow and her husband dies. It's just like, look, I know it's her job to help these guys, but it's clearly a lost cause. She's clearly made up her mind. Why don't we just cut our losses and get out of here?
Ricky the Smiley Friends reference. Oh yeah, the Smiley Friends came out in the past 5 years too.
Yeah, that
Oh yeah, it did.
Last
You-
and also
you-
that
you-
reminds
you
me,
can-
yeah,
you wanna
Gilbert
talk about
Gottfried
Smiley
died
Friends?
in the last 5 years, bro.
Oh.
With his last performance
Aw.
as it sounds sad, but until you realize his last performance was God.
Yeah.
His last performance was God.
You want to talk about Gilbert Gottfried's death?
What do I have to say about Gilbert Gottfried's death? The aristocrats.
The aristocrats.
The aristocrats.
Oh, the last 5 years, DBZA finished.
Oh yeah.
Isn't it?
I thought that
Was it
finished, like,
2019? Yeah, was it 2019? Let me check.
I think it finished earlier than that. I think I remember being in like college around 2018. Okay, I think where you're getting that, I will say I think Team 4-Star did a rewatch of Dragon Ball Z Abridged. That might be where you're getting it from.
It was, oh yeah, you're right, September 14th, 2018.
Yeah, I remember going.
That was the last episode.
Yeah.
6 years ago, though, so technically. It's on the cusp.
But at the same time, I mean, like,
yeah.
we can also talk about the fact that Team 4-Star went back and rewatched their entire Dragon Ball Z Abridged series.
Oh yeah.
I don't know this doesn't mean anything to you guys probably, but like Super Gaming Brothers died and then it came back from hiatus, so that was cool.
Mm.
That's
Oh,
some
they're
call me
back.
Johnny's Let's Play channel. The Wizards of
Yeah,
Waverly
some call me
Place got a
Johnny's Sluts
revival.
Play channel. Hell of a channel.
It did?
Yeah. Well, Wizards of Waverly Place got a revival. And
Yeah.
it's really weird. It's not
Yeah.
bad.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Okay.
We walked that back, but ultimately, there is one game, unfortunately, that came out in the last 5 years that catered to nostalgia.
What?
Hogwarts Legacy.
Okay,
Oh,
listen, okay, I'm going to rip the band-aid off right now, okay?
Mhm.
I'm not telling you not to play this game or not to buy it because the creator sucks or their politics or sucks. I'm telling you not to buy it because this game is freaking boring and mid.
Yep, it is. It absolutely is.
Yeah.
And people realize that, but not before the damage was done because we lost a VTuber as a response to it.
Yeah, I
yeah.
was like, this is
Oh,
really
yeah.
the game you guys were fighting so hardcore for. This game sucks.
Yeah.
Silver lining? It is the game that got me to leave Twitter because people kept drawing, like, I saw people drawing her burning a trans flag, so.
Ah.
Yeah,
Christ.
that's ridiculous.
Even though we
But-
lost Pikame, we
Yeah,
did
that's-
gain Henya.
we got
Yep,
him.
the completely unrelated VTuber.
Yeah.
That is apparently girl is coming back as a different VTuber.
Yeah.
But that's just one of the funniest things about VTubing. It's like even if you have to quit or you're forced to step down, there's nothing preventing you from just being like, got a new model and I'm back. So my fans are just gonna come back to me anyway.
For better or fucking worse. Because,
Oh,
dear
yeah.
God, with the rise
Yeah.
of the VTubers, how many fucking VTubers have had cases where they've been pieces
They're
of
awful
shit,
people.
canceled?
Yeah.
I'm graduating. I'm back as a new VTuber. There was one that doxed a popular VTuber and
What?
tried to come back.
yeah.
Jesus.
I
The
think I know
VTuber
who you're
was-
talking about.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of
The
doxing.
kitchen docking situation.
Yep. Speaking of doxing. The Jax film situation happened in the last 5 years.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
for fuck's sake.
Oh yes, I'm outside Jack's Film's house, guys. Should I go in? Or should I?
Oh,
But next one was to Sam.
yeah.
I not too long ago, I was like, all right, I want to check, see how Jax Films is doing, because I haven't seen too much of his content recently. I looked, and he recently made a video saying, oh yeah, Sniper Wolf, year later, has not changed.
Not surprising.
Not surprising at all.
She's actually gotten worse. Like, apparently, like,
God.
just much of her content is just unwatchable now, especially even more so nowadays, because she will, like, go off on, like, these riffs or tangents talking about people that she quote-unquote knows that have targeted her and claimed her content because it was copyrighted.
Here's
So it just
another
makes it-
thing. Here's another thing that happened in the last 5 years. Bleach fans finally got the game. Unfortunately, it sucks.
Yeah.
Which came as a result of them finally getting continuation to the fucking anime.
Yeah.
Which I don't even... I forget if it's done at this point. No, it's actually... It's not done. It's not done. They got to, like, the... I forgot how fucking dragged out that arc was. The 1,000-Year Blood War arc, in my opinion, is the... Like, it's not bad, but it is, like, the weakest arc of the series to me.
Fair enough.
Because so much of it, so much of the characters and whatnot is just willed away with the fact of every fucking chapter in that more or less is just fight. Oh god, I'm losing. Here's the lol I win card. Ah, celebrate. Ah, you thought you won? Here's my lol I win card. That's the fucking entirety of Bleach Thousand Year Blood War arc in the latter half.
That's just my issue. That's just my issue with shonen manga or shonen series that go on for way too long. It's just like we're just constantly one-upping each other, and nobody can ever get ahead of each other because it's like, well, yeah, because then that would end the series.
And this is why I don't. I just like skim past shows like One Piece.
You know, 3 One Piece is actually pretty good at it, from what I've seen.
that One Piece is actually good. Screw what I said.
When you're watching the anime, you're free to do that because they fucking spend half the time on every single episode recalling what happened because they know you didn't watch it.
Well, I'm reading the manga, so.
Yeah, you could always watch Dragon Stampede.
Also, apparently, the One Piece anime is getting some sort of redo where it's cutting out a lot of the filler.
Yeah, it's being done by
Thank
Studio
God.
Wit.
Yeah. And they've
also
done like the
that's another
fan
thing.
letter short film.
Yeah, they did. That's another thing. The live action came out in the last 5 years.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
actually pretty good.
It's really good
in comparison to the other live action series that came out in the last 5 years.
Are you trying to tell me you do not like the cinematic masterpiece of Netflix's Death Note?
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Pass in the first half. Not gonna lie, you know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. I will say this.
And we also got some really good remakes of old anime too.
I will say
in the past 5 years.
I was more than willing to give this a shot because this seemed like the best series for live action because by all accounts it should have been. We had the technology and the computer graphics to replicate Cowboy Bebop. And visually, yeah. Story-wise, okay. Everything after episode 2 or 3, where the fuck did we go wrong?
Do you like how Jet isn't Jet?
Like, here's the thing, like, I didn't mind the story with Jet being sort of like an ex-husband and just like taking care of his daughter, like, that I didn't mind. It gave me kind of sort of a Marlene and Barrett vibe to me. That I didn't mind. What I did mind was that ultimately a few things, one of which being, God, Vicious sucks.
Yeah,
favor.
Also, God, that's a stupid fucking name, Fearless. Like,
you like Fearless?
I'm not gonna lie, the first time I heard it, I thought his name was Felix.
I'm Fearless.
I'm like, just like, you know what, I'm like, honestly, he died once, and I'm just like, by all accounts, Felix, and just make a whole thing where it's just like, now he's a new person in witness protection or some shit, and now he has this new alias by the name of Spike Spiegel. I'm like, that would have made sense. Why the fuck did you call him Fearless? Also, Ed sucks. Ed sucks.
Yeah.
Like, you had the simplest job of making a prodigy child computer hacker likable. How is the series where she's incredibly fucking annoying the one where she's the most likable?
I don't know what to do with this series.
Yeah.
I mean,
specifically the Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Specifically the Netflix. Obviously, I know what to do with the original show. You watch it and you enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, okay, like, I will say this. Jet Li, I like his performance.
Yeah.
Like, I think one of my favorite parts is, like, when he's like just being this fucking sassy little degenerate. Just it's just like in a sex BDSM shop. And it's just like, mistress, please excuse my vanilla bean friend here is not properly cultured. It's just like he like Jet Li is having the time of his life. And it was just like that much I can see. But yeah, it's not the actor's fault. They needed a better script and a better direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have another one that's going to immediately set Sozo off, right? Not in a bad way.
Hmm?
Rose of the Recapture.
Hot take. Apparently.
Came out in 2024.
Yeah, hot take, apparently. I think it's overhated.
I didn't know it was overhated. I thought everybody
I
liked it.
didn't realize either until I started looking into it. There's one YouTuber that is molding over the fucking Rose of the Recapture. We watched it in full and was just like...
You know, I was like, that was good. I liked it.
It was good. I liked it. Like, okay, it wasn't as good as fucking Code Geass initially, but I wasn't looking for Code Geass initially. I was just looking for Code Geass continuation.
I remember us all making the joke, though, at the end of Rose, was that this is a rehash of the last villain.
Yeah.
That was the one joke we made, like, at the expense of the story. And it was like on the last episode.
Yeah, like I also love that that I don't know what it was, just throwing balls to the wall, everything that they could to try and jot down the Disney villain school of like sympathy, where it's just like, okay, is it the environment? It's not. Is it trying to be like race relations? Is it not? Is it because of parental issues? It's not. Do you just hate everybody? Just smiles. It's just like, oh, he's just a fucking dick.
Yeah, the reason it's such a rehash of the last villain. Should I give a spoiler warning for this?
I guess.
Go for it. I don't really care about spoilers.
Okay, so like massive spoiler warning for Code Geass Rose of the Recapture. The reason the final villain of this show is such a rehash is because it's the original villain's twin brother clone or something, right?
Yeah, so it's basically like, oh yeah, he's Charles, but actually not, but he's got like his DNA, which I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, that was so bummy.
Also, Princess Sakuya, god damn, the girl's got it going on.
Hey, yeah,
like,
watch
bro,
out. We watched her grow up.
Most of the girls and the guys in this show got it going on. What was surprising is that like the big titted girl in a skimpy outfit was a minor.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Welcome back, Gurren Lagann.
Damn.
Also, they have one dark-skinned baddie, and she's a racist.
Oh my god.
She doesn't show up that much.
Yeah, and it was just like, but no, you don't understand. She's racist because of her backstory.
Yeah, try that one. Try that one in real life.
Also, I forget, I think... Did the Harley Quinn series come out in 2020?
I think so.
It did.
Yeah.
Well, I like it. It's pretty funny.
Oh yeah, the animated Harley Quinn series that by all accounts is just like, I like the first 2 seasons. I just gave up after
2019 it first released.
No,
yeah,
no,
you know what, we'll mark it. But I mean, at the same time, it's just like, in 2020 we were just stuck inside and we were just like watching so much stuff.
It was it was 2019, but it was like mid to end of 2019, so we can give it a pass.
Yeah, I'll give it.
You know what else came out in the past 5 years? Arcade.
That is true.
Yeah.
The
Arcade.
only good thing that came from League of Legends, other than the spin-off
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
Also, what I discovered, like, one of the only songs I like from Imagine Dragons.
Oh, the misery.
Great.
I feel like season 2 of Arcane kind of fumbled, but I mean, it was still pretty good.
I still haven't watched season 2 yet.
Then I can't spoil it.
I still haven't watched.
Season
Anyway.
1.
Anyway. Oh, that reminds me. Like, last 5 years, I actually finally got into the Game Awards.
Heck yeah! And we started watching those during those
The
watch
one
parties.
I got interested in was the one they announced Hades 2 with.
Yeah.
JFK, like,
JFK, like.
we have that drinking
Also,
game going
oh
still,
my
right?
god, that was right. The one I got interested in was the infamous one. It was the Bill Clinton.
Yes. And we also
Me,
started doing
Clinton.
those Game Awards watch parties.
Yep. And then we got introduced to some other stuff. We got introduced to Windblown. We got introduced
Oh yeah,
to...
Windblown was Game Awards.
Yep, Windblown was Game Awards. There was a lot of other games that have come out.
Onimusha. Don't forget the new
Way of the
Onimusha
Sword.
game.
Yep, Onimusha Way of the Sword.
Oh, Kami! I'm generally excited to do all Kami game.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that reminds me. We had a couple Smash Bros. Games come out in the last 5 years.
Ah.
Oh, you know what else? What else came out in the last 5 years?
The GTA collection.
No, well, I mean, the Owl House.
Yeah, the Owl House
Oh,
did.
but-
It did come out in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Disney literally murdered this series.
Yeah.
What a shame.
Yeah. Because it's quote unquote too gay.
Was...
They, yeah, because we made the joke several times when Sozo was showing
Yeah.
me and Arashi the series.
The series was
We
too
made the
good for
joke
Disney.
several. Well, yeah, and we
Mm.
also made the other joke that, oh, what happened to that character? What's with this plot element or that character's development? It's in season 4. There
Anyway.
was 3 seasons.
I think like the excuse is that the creator has gone on record by saying they were very open to like having same-sex relationships and whatnot, but
And then the Gravity Falls message is released.
yeah, the Gravity Falls message is
Mhm.
released, and
Yeah.
also since it did come out recently, you know what else, by all accounts, had a very anti-progressive message? Lilo
What?
and Stitch.
Oh, for
What are you
fuck's
talking
sake!
about?
alien-
The wire rights.
The alien that liked dressing as a woman, they took out. They actually tried to get the alien to dress as a woman, and they were against it.
They de-ossified Peakley! They de-ossified Peakley!
So you guys want to talk about how weird. Can we talk about this for a second, right?
Hmm.
The weird standard that some of these so-called progressive companies, ally companies have when it comes to actually putting allied media out. It's so funny.
Yeah, like fucking Steven Universe creator coming out with a story that's saying that she actually had to fight to get a gay marriage on screen, and the only reason why it could air to begin with was because it was tied to a story.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you can't skip that. You can't skip that episode,
You
or
can't
else.
skip that episode, otherwise you risk losing out. You miss out on this entire big plot drop.
Yeah.
What a Chad move.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then, last
speaking of,
5
like, the
years.
creator- yeah. Oh,
That's right, the last
Sorry.
5 years we've had to deal with fucking Lorch.
oh, for fuck's sake.
I just
Lorch?
brought up Steven Universe and I just remembered, yeah, that's a...
Uh,
Also,
also, like,
the creator of Yandere Simulator came out and ultimately
still
became a pedophile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, Rick.
Oh,
He
yeah.
trace for where he did, but like, come on.
Yeah, his message is requesting that people tell them that it's AI. Sure.
His message was, I didn't do it. And signed to me.
I did not have sexual relations with that minor.
Oh,
Oh yeah, what's your proof? I said I didn't.
Yeah, but we had a
Oh,
couple
that game is
smack.
still not finished.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
by
had a
the way,
couple.
oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
The creator of Owl House is coming back with a new project on
Yep.
for Glitch.
Yep. I heard about that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
was
but
it Tales of Windermere or something?
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, we had some Smash Bros games come along, which I think one of them got a sequel. I guess Nickelodeon came out with a fucking Nicktoons Smash Bros game. That went
Yeah.
nowhere.
They
Yeah.
did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the first game was freaking awful, and then they made a second
Oh, yeah.
game which was okay.
I owned the first game. The
After-
first thing I remember is like actually trying to start up like a game and nothing fucking happening.
Damn.
The weirdest thing about that, right, was everybody on the internet was trying to gaslight this game into being a Smash Bros. Killer, and I was like, you realize you're just going to upset the Smash Brothers fandom, and they're not going to come
Yeah.
play your game.
I remember clear as day
It
saying
wasn't
I
the devs
didn't.
either.
Yeah, I remember clear as day saying I didn't want to get this game because I was afraid this was going to become another PS All Stars. And look who was right.
Yeah. It was so
You had a
unfortunate.
nickel for
Twice.
if you have a nickel for every time you say that it's gonna end up like PS All Stars. You'll
I
have,
have
two
two
nickels, which is
nickels.
a lot.
Which was the same thing I
Yes,
said
but-
about multiverses. And guess who was right?
Oh, so 3 nickels then.
Nah, just 2 because I didn't even realize the game had a fucking sequel.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I was counting PS All Stars.
Miles Morales came out, I think, in the last 5 years.
Yeah, it was 2020.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we got anything else?
I mean, are you gonna let the
No.
only black person in this take the call?
I mean, I can't.
I mean-
I don't have to. I really liked Miles Morales. I thought it was kind of short and that he should have got a full game. I didn't
Yeah.
like the villain. I thought she was boring. They had to supplement. Yeah, they had to supplement her with like Rhino and a billionaire.
Oh, you're talking about the antagonist.
Yeah, yeah.
Because because like you say villain, and I'm just like the fucking Jeff Goldblum like. I'm like, yeah, of course, yeah, he was fucking boring.
Yeah.
The girl,
The Tinkerer.
Antagonist. I
Tinkerer-
apologize. Yeah.
Yeah, no. The Tinkerer, yeah, I can meet you halfway on that one. Not my favorite, really.
No, I didn't. I don't think she's. I don't think she's awful. I just think she should have got the full screen time and not have to share
Yeah.
it with like.
I do like that they didn't pull the card I thought they were going to with her reveal, and that like I thought they were just gonna go by all accounts having them hijack the whole like protest and everything and try to frame like Miles's mom as like a terrible person or something. No, it was just hijacking coincidentally to talk about how Roxanne fucking sucks. Nothing to do with the like the protest or anything.
Mm.
Like I kind of like that card, but other than that, I mean, like, I mean, yeah, it was pretty cool to like kind of see like a version of Spider-Man where Peter was alive and Miles is actually also alive.
Okay. So as soon as we're done being nice to this game, I have some very unkind things to say about the next one.
Alrighty.
Spider-Man 2.
I still gotta play it.
What
won't
the
spoil
fuck
anything, don't
are
worry.
you wearing, Miles?
Not just
but I
that.
do remember
Oh
that.
Yeah.
goodness.
Not just that.
Also, the fuck is with your hair, man? The fuck is with your hair, bro?
This
Like,
game. Go ahead.
dude, like, fucking, why is the one Killmonger cut suddenly the biggest black hairstyle? Like, fucking, the amount, like, is there nothing? What is stopping these people from going into any barber shop and just looking at all these different cuts and going, all right, we'll go with that? Like,
You assume these people would go into a barber shop where black people are.
Is it easier to, like, I don't know, model and animate?
That sounds horrific. But honestly,
Mm.
it might not be.
the
Far from the truth.
with
Because
the
these
amount
people
of
live in like
detail,
very privileged places.
yeah, but the amount of detail they put into the fucking poly count of like hair in video games, it's just like, would a character with like low-hanging dreads or like just dreads in a certain style just modeled that way with a little bit of wind animations, like, would that really be all that difficult? Like, really? Like,
Oh.
you don't even really need to do anything like special for the specific style. You could just go, oh, a girl with long hair, and then just make it dreads.
Do you know what's so funny about this? Is that the form of person mods on PC was Miles' original hair mod from the
Right.
first game.
Like, I don't know. It's just,
It also makes him look so much better too. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Also, can I get in? No spoilers, right? But can I get into my issues?
Hmm.
There's so many of them, but I'll be very brief about it.
I mean, you say there's so many issues, but immediately one of my issues pops up to the what there's so many of, and I would say, yeah.
Is it the campaign?
Yeah, this game is way too short to be as bloated as it wants to be. And I know that sounds like paradoxical.
Where's the DLC to expand on that, man?
It's canceled. So now they're either going to have to like really, really pack a lot of crap into Spider-Man 3 and extend that to like 45 to 50 hours, or they're just gonna have to drop it entirely. Because the issue I have with Spider-Man 2 is that it's like 20 to 25 hours, right? And this game needed to be 35 to 40 with how much they wanted to take care of. It's so cluttered because you have to do Peter's plot, you have to do Miles' plot, you have to set up the villains for Kraven's plot, you have to do the Venom plot. You also have to do Kraven's hunt. You have to do Kraven's last hunt. You have to do Miles' whole revenge arc, Mr. Negative's redemption arc.
There's the Wraith
There's
too.
so much, and then there's the setup for the DLC quests, and it's just it feels so bloated.
I'm gonna
The
be
game turns
real.
into a third-person shooter at the end.
I'm gonna be real. Aside from the classic Venom and the symbiote for Peter's suit, whatnot, this I feel did a disservice to the symbiote arc, honestly, in a lot of ways.
It did. This is probably one of the most. This was the worst interpretation of the symbiote. Honestly,
yeah,
because
especially
they really
for a
do
character
lean.
like Scream.
They really
Yeah.
do lean it. They leaned in hard to that. It's a drug allegory, and I was like, that the symbiote is a living creature. It's a character. It's not just like this amalgam thing that gives Peter bigger powers. Like, you were really screwing up here.
Yeah, and also I'm just gonna say it. I think this version of what they were doing with Carnage was boring.
Thank you.
If I recall correctly, he was like a prisoner that got a hold of the symbiote.
Yeah, it exists. It exists.
Yeah,
The cool leader thing, I can understand. Because as a Spider-Man fan, the cool thing is from one of the comics, but that's the issue with this. It feels like it's a bunch of references, and you didn't set it up properly.
Honestly, it feels like the opposite of Spider-Verse, where it's like you have all of these interesting ideas, but it feels like you added in like at least enough time to work with it. At the very least, the first film made a joke out of the fact about how all of them are basically the same fucking character. Let's do this one more time. I was bitten by a radioactive spider. It's just like they made a joke out of it, at least that. In the sequel, they, in my mind, I feel like what I like about, and I think it also came out in the last 5 years too, is the Spider-Verse films. But what I like, but what I liked about it was that ultimately the first film is very much them going down the route of like, all right, well, we're capitalizing on the whole Donald Glover for Spider-Man kind of thing. Because that was where this whole thing got started, was where like,
Yeah.
We're all gonna see the movie of Donald Glover's playing Spider-Man.
He's black, kill him!
And I can also say the other side is,
why would you just have Uncle Sarah play Shaft? It's just like,
let's go get some hoes.
Yeah, and then like the first film comes out. By all accounts, I fucking love it. What's Up Danger is one of my favorite tracks. And then all of a sudden, the internet is just like, oh man, Miles Morales is Miles Morales, but Peter Parker is Spider-Man. And it's just like, in comes the second film, which is calling out those exact fucking people. Because Miguel O'Hara is a representation of the diehard internet Spider-Man fans who have only watched the films. Let's be real. Like, it's just like the amount of Spider-Men that are not white, straight, and male that are in that film is just like the amount of dialogue I've heard die down regarding Miles being Spider-Man is just like, like it's just like, yeah, you got shut up, didn't you?
Also, one last thing about that. There's a moment in Spider-Man 2 where it completely ruins a future moment for another character because they just give that to Peter randomly, and it really sucks.
Damn.
Yeah. But yeah, other than oh, you know what we haven't talked about that came out in the last 5 years?
What?
Final Fantasy VII.
Oh yeah, the remake.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Dude.
I wouldn't say it's amazing. You gotta buy it.
Yeah,
Rebirth felt really long, yeah. 135 hours, and that was me just trying to play the story.
I'm not a fan of what Square Enix is doing with the graphics, so yeah. I bought the remake, but that's like
hyperrealism.
I bought the remake, but that's like, that's about as far as I'm gonna dip my toes in, honestly. I mean, I like what they do with the story, but I do feel it is kind of pointless because you're just setting up all of this for these characters just to kill them. That's what they fucking did with Jesse and Wedge and Biggs. Like, you set up the story, have them be all these likable characters, and then you just kill them off.
Could be worse. It could be like the end of Rebirth.
Hey, remember when the
If you know, you know. Yeah,
Hey,
if you know,
remember
you
when
know.
remember when the ghosts actually had like some significance to them that you could probably tie to the original story? Oh, wait, it's not tied to the original story. Oh.
But now it is. But now it's not. But now it is.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
100%. I think me and many people thought at first when it came to the remake, the Black Ghosts were just like, "Oh, this is a reference to Reunion, right?" Like this would make so much sense. Oh, it's not. Damn.
Mm.
I'm gonna hop off.
All right.
All right.
But it was nice talking to you guys, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also had the GTA collection come out.
Oh yeah.
That was certainly
How
a
much?
something.
Yeah.
The
But they
music,
fixed it, I guess.
the music, I can handle because you already know people are gonna go in and mod that shit.
Yep.
But what the fuck were they thinking with the graphics?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
But like, I don't even think Rockstar made it. I think it was just more or less they published it, but it was like it was from their mobile ports or whatever, like the same developer who did those. It's weird.
God, I only played the fucking GTA 3 game on the mobile port. And that game has a problem that it just immediately locks you out of beating the game because of the fucking physics and the way you can actually control shit.
Mm.
Ugh, I've heard San Andreas getting fixed, I've heard Vice City getting fixed, but I think GTA 3 is still dead in the water.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean,
I don't know how I feel about it. I think the problem
Mm.
that I will have is what will happen when it's released. Because I don't doubt that Rockstar will probably do a good job when the game releases. The problem I have is the pricing. Because they even
Yeah.
said that they were debating on the price of the game. And if we'll just say that is $100 fucking. I look, I was debating on fucking buying what Mortal Kombat 1 for a fucking $100. What makes you think in any god-given mind that I'm going to pre-order $100 for a base edition? And you know they're gonna have all these other editions. And
Yeah.
it's just getting way too pricey. Way
Mm.
too pricey.
I'm just
And
gonna
that
say
shit's
I
gonna
wouldn't put it past Rockstar to start a subscription service for GTA 6.
if that does happen, I am never playing like GTA 6 because
Yeah,
I don't want that
I don't
Yeah.
blame
to
you.
be the new standard. Because it's like the problem I have with the subscription service is either one, I forget about it, but also two, I don't want to be locked into playing one game every single time just because I now
Yeah.
have it as a permanent access on my account. Even if it comes with all the other Rockstar games. I bought Max Payne 3 fucking like 7 years ago for like $7, and I don't have to pay a subscription for that. Why the fuck do I have to pay a prescription to a game I'll probably play the story once of and never touch online? Like,
Mm.
like come on, it's unreasonable.
Fucking yeah. Other than that, I mean, like, I'm just thinking about it, and now I'm just like, I remember what else came out for the last 5 years. Genshin Impact.
Oh yeah. God.
Wasted two
Well,
years of my life. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's man, like just fucking just about every gacha. It's just like every game that's coming out now with like this particular art style is just now almost a tie to a gacha game by all accounts, and it's just like, it's not just that, it's a gacha game that is the same song and dance. It's the same fucking, oh, it's the same art style, but it also has the same pale skin anime bitches with skimpy ass fucking bodies, big tits, and by all accounts, just there for people to fucking get horny over and make Rule 34 off of. It's like, I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm sick and tired of that shit, bro. And this is coming from a fucking degenerate. I'm sick and tired of that shit. Like, I just...
Yeah.
Like, I think the problem I just have right now is maybe just... I think there's just too many gacha games coming out. Just way too many. I mean, we definitely have a lot of higher budgets. Some focus more on storytelling, some focus more on gameplay. But, like, after my experiences with ZCZ, it fucking broke me. Where it's like, I don't even want to touch another gacha game. I may give Withering Waves a shot, but it's like, it broke me because it's like, it's every other fucking gacha game. They have barely improved, but that's spoilers for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your biggest problem, is that it is just Hoyover's. I mean, I will say this about Wuthering Waves. You liked Punishing Grey Raven when you played it, right?
I did. For like, what, I think I stuck 3 months before I just stopped.
Basically, Punishing Grey Raven with an open world in a lot of ways.
I don't know. Something about it just irks me, but I will have to test it.
You probably like. I'm just gonna tell you outright. You're probably. I wouldn't be surprised if you bailed immediately when you started the game, because the introduction is pretty rough. I'm not gonna lie. But other than that, fucking. I mean, like, other games have come out in the last 5 years. We got like. I mean, I can just list out everything we haven't talked about. Just fire from the hip.
Yep.
Ori sequel, Risk of Rain 2, Like a Dragon, Spiritfarer, Kenna, Bridge of Spirits, Stray, Pokemon Unite, Palworld, Cult of the Lamb, Ib, Master Duel, Party Animals, Overwatch 2, Buckshot Roulette, Sky, Children of the Light. I think we talked about Slay the Princess, but Grand Blue Fantasy, Helldivers 2, Lethal Company, Alien Hominid Invasion, Metaphoria Fantasio, Neva, and yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of games that have come out and are still coming out and whatnot, and yeah, I mean, like, it's... I mean, we could talk for ages about, like, more so just entertainment in general that's come out in the last 5 years, but it's... I'm not gonna lie, it's getting pretty long. I feel like I want to sort of close this on something that, has come up in the last 5 years that ultimately is shown to be a major fucking problem that's plaguing the world right now.
Oh boy.
Artificial intelligence.
Oh my goodness. Like.
Yeah.
Where do we
I
begin?
have been back and fucking forth about this. It is such a touchy subject. At first, it was like, oh, I mean, like, AI is the future and everything. AI will replace artists. And then it was, oh, AI is, like, unethical. It uses all the resources. It replaces, like, human ingenuity. And then it was, like, by all accounts, AI will improve over time. And then, like, I mean, it won't do anything against humans. And here's tools to protect your work from artificial intelligence. And then it's 2020 4 and 5 come by and AI has improved, and it's just like it's got nothing on human ingenuity. There are new AI tools that actually help trick people into thinking that you're actually doing the work, and then now the conversation is, well, I mean, you can look at modern art, and obviously it's a smoking gun because that's a tried and true showcase of that art is absolutely dead. Oh my fucking god. You wanna know my take? You wanna know my take after all of this shit?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
This should have been a fucking tool. This should have been a tool to help artists with their process. It should have been a tool to help them with references. It should have been a tool to help them with whatever they fucking are working on. It should have been a tool by all fucking means, but it's become this thing where it's just like, now it's literally just, well, we're literally in the fucking Matrix now, because it's now turning into the whole thing with Agent Smith. It's just, you say it's your civilization, but when we started thinking for you and acting for you, it really became our civilization. Because by all accounts, yeah, to anyone who's still shilling for AI, if you really think you own the fucking images you're generating, the music you're generating, the voices you're generating, the videos you're generating, no, that's owned by the technology, because you didn't put in fuck all for the actual work. You entered in some prompts, you might have did 5 to 10 minutes of something on Photoshop, but that's fucking it. You didn't actually fucking work on this shit.
Like,
and it's just, there's no room for civil conversation for this, is the thing too. It's just, it's so, you're either extremely pro-human or extremely pro-AI. There is no discussing the pros and cons.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a real shame because honestly, it could have been something a little bit more special. But I think the problem is
Yeah.
quite a lot of companies are using it as a for-profit tool instead of, just giving it to the people. Like how they keep saying, we're giving it to the people, but you gotta really pay to use it, and they lock all the good features behind it. I understand structures cost money and all this. But when anything is made for profit, especially a new up-and-coming technology, there's going to be a lot of bugs, a lot of problems, and we are the beta testers. And I have tried so many different things with AI to see how it is. There was AI music. The first time I heard it, I'm like, dang, that sounds pretty good. For 2 hours, and then I'm like, okay, it's losing its magic because it has the ability to look so professional, but only like to a certain degree, until like you start looking at it for a few days and everything just looks the exact same. It looks the same.
And then there's AI art, which at the start, you could see, people were given the benefit, it looks so good, it looks so high detail, it looks so high res, and now all the fucking AI art images have the same fucking art style for the last 4 to 5 years.
Yep.
And it's always the same kind of characters, the same kind of shit, the same kind of medium, used for the same kinds of purposes. It's mainly just done to generate anime characters with big anime titties, big anime thighs, looking dead face in the camera on Rule 34. And that's fucking it. The amount of Rule 34 that is plagued with AI generation, it's clear what you're fucking using it for. It's clear why you shill it so much.
As an artist, this pains me.
Like, I wanted to try like a test. I had like an idea where it's like, what if I used like AI as a tool to improve my writing because I wanted to get back at writing. Unfortunately, I wanted to make that for a video. Unfortunately, I couldn't do that because I actually begun relying on AI to do all the writing for me, and I lost more interest with writing. And I'm like, wow, so
Yeah.
this is the process. Instead of actually implying that it's like it's a tool to help you, it's really a tool that makes it so easy that you don't even want to fucking do anything.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that is the fucking issue across the board. I mean, like, by all accounts, I still have a piece that I'm working on that is just an AI-generated image I found that is just redrawing it. Now, for artists who redraw shit and draw shit and whatnot, there is some leeway because by all accounts, you can still just create something new out of it. But for something like writing, for something like music, it's just like, it's so easy to just let it do all the fucking work instead of doing it for yourself. It's become so easy, in fact, that there are articles of people talking about how the newer generations and whatnot are actually losing interest in writing essays. They're losing interest in doing this, and that because it's just so easier to let the AI just take over and let that do that shit. And that's why I'm just like, by all accounts, yeah. Can you say at that point it's your work and that you had ultimately your hands in it when you don't even know how to fucking do it to begin with?
It loses a lot of personality that comes with, being fucking human, existing in the first place. Like the whole thing, like even my stupid profile picture I use, I fucking made that.
Yeah.
I used a
Yeah.
lot of references, but I mean, still, I fucking made it. It's something. It's not special by any means, but it's something,
Yeah.
which is better than nothing.
The art in this
Yeah.
background, my avatar from years ago, the Fugi that I have, Scion's profile picture, I made all of that. And I enjoyed every single, like, more or less every single end result I got out of this shit. I have made this entire fucking platform in terms of visually. Yeah, I didn't borrow any, like, assets from AI or fucking anything like that shit. No, I drew this all by hand off of some concept arts of my sketches.
I did sort of the same thing with with some of my drawings too. I did that all by hand with some references.
Yeah.
I did not ask AI for any help.
Like, the only exception I had regarding, like, any assistance from AI art for my drawing was when I was doing a concept art. And the only reason why is because I literally just needed something along the lines of a reference for drawing a low-hanging ponytail, and that's it. It didn't do anything regarding how to draw curls the way I do. It had nothing to do with the color schemes that I use. It had nothing to do with how I draw my character's eyes. It had nothing to do with how I draw my character's skin or her scars. It had nothing to do with the outfit that I chose for her. It had nothing to do with that shit. It was literally just which way does the hair go? That's fucking it.
Mm.
It's just like, I used AI, like, one of these sites once, and it was like years ago. I used it once, and it gave me a bunch of fucked up pictures of my avatar generated. Like, and I was just like, it was just, I just used it once. And it just, I didn't really like it. It gave me shit that was just like, I recognize where that's from. I recognize where that's from. This is not. It also had a genuine problem with focusing on melanated characters. So,
Mm.
which I wonder why that might be. It's definitely not because a lot of people are training it on pale skinned characters or anything. Definitely not because of that.
Mm.
That's also another thing
And a
too.
lot of anime.
In a lot of fucking anime, and also a lot of Disney characters. It's just gotten so out of fucking hand. We have points now where it's like there's game trailers being made with AI. There are video games that are incorporating AI, which at the very least, like sites like Steam are demanding that, hey, you be transparent with what your usage of AI was. But still, it's just like, this is, it's been said before, it's going to be said here, and it'll be said in the future. It needs to genuinely have some goddamn regulations. It needs to be kept under fucking wraps, because if it continues to go on as much as it has been going on, nothing is gonna get better. It's gonna get worse before it gets better if things don't immediately start happening.
Hmm.
Like,
But if there is one good positive that I have been seeing, is that even though legislatives and other people don't want to really do much against AI and they're giving more power to these companies, there are actual people who are finding ways to literally red pill AI and to actually make their generations worse.
yeah, I've seen people like have the idea of, let's generate AI images on top of AI images. So there's that, and of course there's also programs like Glaze and Nightshade that are intended to have you overlay your work so that it can't be as easily trainable on AI anymore, which I think is fantastic.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's just. It's just the only thing to come out of all of this regarding being an artist. Seeing all of this, it just depresses the, it's just depressed the fuck out of me. It's just,
Yeah.
it's made it for a while. It just made me not want to draw, because of how fucking bleak it just looked. And then when I started drawing again, it was just like, I remember just how much fun and enjoyment I had with it. Like, it's it the problem I've had, the problem ultimately, that regardless of what anybody who shills for AI is going to say, the problem at the end of the day is, as much as that they want to say, oh, well, it's our work and that we get enjoyment from that, and ultimately it's like, you can talk big a game, but ultimately you're stealing, like, art from other artists as well when you do your shit. It's just like, I mean, by all accounts, I'm just gonna say this to anyone who's into AI art: buy a sketchbook and then just draw characters you see on screen. Just try that and do that for a month and see how it feels. If you can manage doing that for a month, and you can seriously tell me that by all accounts that making AI and whatnot is making AI and whatnot is just like, you feel the same kind of satisfaction in regards to that, as opposed to doing it in sketch art, where you would be doing it for a straight month, until practicing more and more and more until you got it right, and then eventually when you finally get it right, that satisfaction of actually realizing that all that effort, that time and energy you spent into it, finally starting to pay off and you can actually get somewhere, as opposed to just relying on AI to give you a quote unquote result immediately. It's just like, seriously, it's just like the problem that's plaguing, like, the industry right now. It's just, it's full of people who gave up. It's full of people who never bothered to actually try. It's full of people that most likely tried to get into art, had bad experiences, and instead of getting, like, taking those experiences to heart and learning from them, or trying to use those to motivate themselves, they decided, oh, AI lets me, like, be an expert with no actual training. I can have art skills like any talented artist. It's just like, it's just like, you gave up. You just gotta admit that you fucking gave up. You didn't want to try anymore. You got sick and tired of being criticized about the shit that, more or less, like, if you had an actual artist take a look at, they would have said, yeah, that's actually pretty good. It could use some improvements, but you're coming along perfectly fine. Like, that's the biggest problem. It's just, most likely, the people who are shilling for this are just people who just gave up on trying to be an artist and instead just decided to let the AI ultimately do the work for them. They're letting the AI do the work for them and trying to reap the benefits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang. I mean, listen, don't use AI just to like profit off of it. This is not a tool meant to profit off of one that's already made of stolen content in the future. And if I know a lawsuit is coming for like Disney possibly suing them for like licensed characters and other properties. If that actually does happen and all that stuff, that's going to start really cracking down on AI heavily since it's made up of pretty much all copyrighted characters.
Yeah, this is one of the times where I'm actually rooting for Disney because it's just like I'm actually surprised the lawsuit didn't come in honestly any sooner, because it was like I just legitimately hope, because by all accounts, yeah, when you're trading your work on copyrighted characters that a business like Disney owns, I think by all accounts, yeah, they that would lead them to step in, or hell, like, I'm honestly kind of surprised Nintendo and Studio Ghibli are not getting a hand in this, by all accounts, because I've seen their work be trained on AI. Hell, the fact that recently now it's a trend for the Studio Ghibli art style to be generated. Like, I'm surprised that that company isn't actually pressing charges. Like, by all accounts.
I saw this like one quote I saw where someone was trying to state that's like, you artists should pack up your bags because you're having a bad day. So now that like AI can now replicate like the Studio Ghibli art style, and it's like, listen, if that is what you think is like literally peak and there is nothing more, you either one need to watch way more stuff out there, or two, understand that just because it can replicate something does not mean it will replace artists.
Yeah.
By any fucking means.
Oh no. And
basically.
And there's another thing too about the whole replacing artists thing, is that they want to act like, oh, artists like steal from other artists all the time. And here's the thing, there is truth to that, but the truth comes from the fact of those artists got called out. There have been plenty of artists that have ripped off other artists by all means. I mean, I don't think any of us are not aware of the whole thing with Butch Hartman. I think we all, by all accounts,
God.
yeah, he stole and traced like other artists, and he got rightfully called out for that shit. So here's a question: if it's not right for someone like Butch Hartman, the creator of Fairly Odd Parents, among other stuff, to trace and rip off other people's artwork, why is it right for these programs and these companies to do the same with countless other titles and countless other artists? And that's just the thing. It's just like, you can justify it as much as you want. You can try to explain away as much as you want, but at the end of the day, it doesn't change the fact that you need us for this to even work to begin with, for AI to even work to begin with. You need us. Without us, this whole thing falls apart. Without anything available on the internet that we've created, your whole system just that you shill for falls apart. As for artists, yeah, sure, if I don't have references, yeah, maybe my art isn't as good as it could be, but that's not going to stop me from creating art that I genuinely love and getting good at it. And the difference, here's the major difference at the end of the day. If, by all accounts, if there was a major power outage and everything just shut down, how are you going to be able to use AI? And there's going to be people that go in defense of that, which is like, well, you're a digital artist. You all are digital artists, so you would have trouble even doing it. You'd be in the same boat as us. Yes, but the difference is, any one of us can get a pencil and a piece of paper and just go to work if we need to. We don't care. We genuinely do not give a fuck. There are other solutions and other alternatives to art. And as for the whole modern art thing, because people like to bring up, well, I mean, like you talk about how artists make some great work, but then there's also Jackson Pollock with modern art. It's just like, and here's the thing, right? You can ask a number of artists in the field, they will tell you how much they fucking hate Jackson Pollock and what he did for modern art. Like, Jackson Pollock is not a saint. He's not he's not Mother Teresa of the art world. He's a black sheep upon what it means to be like a genuine artist. He just got popular for it. Like, cause by all accounts, like if you want to talk about like, oh man, like you want to make art that's like on perfect on the other like artist level, like Leonardo da Vinci and whatnot, I guarantee you Leonardo da Vinci had plenty of sketches and paintings that he was not proud of and never saw the light of day. And the reason why is mainly because that's the process. Being an artist is not easy, and it shouldn't be easy. And if you really think that by all accounts we can't get any happiness from the struggle and actual attempt at trying to get all of this shit right, then you clearly have never worked a damn day in your fucking life.
Well, automation is definitely a lot easier to do. It gives you no reward. I think a good example
Yeah.
would just be to, well, for me, I built a portfolio of my work for maybe 3 years. And the thing is, I've gotten slightly better at where I once was. It showed how I was experimenting, I was really bad at it, and honestly, I'm at a whatever point right now. But the fact is, you could see there was improvement. I changed something along the way, and I was slowly developing a more consistent style instead of always experimenting all the time. What can you really say about AI? Oh, I use a different model, so now this one looks slightly more realistic. Realistic or even more anime does not mean it's better. It means if you took the time, you've taken painstakingly amounts of time to craft something that probably many people won't. Literally, the whole point is that popularity means pretty much nothing, because this is the internet. It will be popular for 5 minutes and then disappear like lightning. Will you really be able to look at that in 4 or 5 years and say, yeah, that was good? My stuff is cringe, but guess what? It's still something I could at least understand that I did. I put time and effort in, and it gives me something to remember. What does AI do?
Yeah, basically it's kind of the same with me. I have loads of sketchbooks of like all my drawings I've done, but you can see there's improvement. You can see how much I've been experimenting, how much I've been like changing my art style a bit. What can AI do? Exactly.
And here's another big thing I don't think we really touched on. I don't really hear too many people actually touching on. The major reason of why I think AI is genuinely inferior to like what we do is here's the thing. If we put in a row, and if you want to send me this for like editing and in post, I can by all accounts do that. But if we put in a row one example of our art side to side, by all accounts, people could tell that we did that. I can put
Yeah.
3 examples side to side of AI art that looks exactly the same, but it's done by 3 different people. So the question is, by all accounts, if you really think that by all accounts this work is yours and that, yeah, this AI is ultimately going to change everything, what's going to stop it from making you or anyone else be the exact fucking same? What is going to stop the AI, by all accounts, from generating images or generating music or generating anything at all that ultimately has nothing to signify your actual traits, your fingerprints, your actual mark on the world?
That's the major difference between so many artists who do this craft. By all accounts, you can say what you will about artists like Vivzy Pop, but you know that's her style. You can say what you will about Studio Bones' animation style or Studio Trigger's animation style, but by all accounts, you can tell that's their style. And you can say what you will about the Studio Ghibli or Hayao Miyazaki style, but by all accounts, you can tell that's Studio Ghibli's style. That's Hayao Miyazaki's style. When you try to replicate everything that we and so many others do, at the end of the day, what do you really have that you can call your own out of that product? What do you really have that is truly yours? And that's the big thing. I don't think anybody who really is like into AI can genuinely answer. Yeah, sure, they can come up with coping mechanisms and whatnot. They can say it's just like, well, I spent this amount of time on Photoshop, which, by the way, if you are one of those people that are generating AI images and going in with Photoshop, congratulations. You're doing the exact same kind of shit a lot of popular celebrity magazines do just for people to read them. Congratulations, you're doing the bare fucking minimum, not even that. But by all accounts, like, regarding just AI in general, it's just like there's the difference between us and the AI is that on some level, aside from the improvement, we eventually find stuff that we can actually call our own in returns of our style. We spend so much time that eventually we can just find our style. With AI, sure, you can say there's a style, but it's like several hundred people all having the one style and never really changing. As opposed to 3 artists who have, similar interests and similar tastes, but all sharing it with their own kind of style. This is something that, by all accounts, in my eyes, AI will never be able to just get over. And by all accounts, I 100% will believe when it does, when it can be able to create its own style, when it can be able to create work that's entirely original, by all accounts, I don't think it's right for you to call it your work as much as it is the AI's. Because by that point, I 100% believe AI at that point will become sentient. AI will genuinely become self-aware enough to create something of its own. And at that point, you can't really just take it for yourself and say, oh, look at the work that I did. Because by all accounts, the AI will... by all accounts, the AI will just take credit for it. For the work that it did. And that's the big thing here. Is that when we talk about AI, it's ultimately the work that, by all accounts, the AI was capable of accomplishing, not necessarily any kind of effort the people who are using this technology were able to accomplish. Because there's nothing to accomplish. Yeah.
May look bleak. Like, the world may look pretty bleak. But at the same time, it shows that even a few random people can resonate upon the exact same thoughts and opinions.
Yeah.
So it makes the world feel a lot less bleak than it really is.
Exactly.
Yeah, but yeah. Ultimately, I think that's just gonna do it. Honestly, I think relatively that just that pretty much just covers a lot of the bases. That covers a lot of the
Yeah.
last 5 years, more or less.
Mm. It's really nice to talk about what happened in these past 5 years.
Yeah.
So many interests, so many great stuff, so many bad stuff, but it helps us give a better perspective on the world as a whole. It's slowly but surely evolving as it's slowly de-evolving.
Yeah.
And I didn't even get to the stuff that's happened in the last few months, but it's just like it's just so much
Yeah.
shit that's happened over the years. We didn't even talk about like some of the other stuff that happened over the last 5 years, like the amount of like other celebrity deaths. Like we mentioned Gilbert Gottfried, but there's also people like Chadwick Boseman. There's people like Akira Toriyama, like
Mm.
Yeah.
the original voice actor not too long ago for Space Ghost passed away too. The actor for
Oh,
He-Man too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people. Hell, I think that like there's even people I didn't even like realize I would hear about. Like the whole like the guy who did the AOL "You've Got Mail" notification. He also died.
Jesus.
Damn.
Yeah, like yeah, there was just a lot that happened over the course of these 5 years. It was just like I wanted to sort of just make a podcast episode just breaking all of it down because it's just like it feels like at this point so much is happening on a day-to-day basis, on a week-to-week basis, that it's just like it at some point it's just like I wanted to take a step back and sort of just talk about all of it before it just became like it just became so much that we just forget about everything that had happened.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, I didn't even like I didn't even talk about the fucking the thing I got going on where my with my avatars, because over the course of the 5 years, this is an avatar that's been like made like over the course of the 5 years, like I've had this avatar that is just it was just made because me and my friend had a cool idea where it's like, hey, why don't we make gender bent versions of ourselves? And this is just sort of what came as a result of it.
Yeah.
And then it just spawned to something even more. For
Mm.
now, I just have this avatar.
Yeah.
It's just it's just like so many years have just gone by, and the amount of things that have happened, and the amount of things that have just come and go, and it's like it's just kind of hard to like, I guess in my eyes, just just like sit by as the days pass, and then just not really sit down and just talk about it, not really just sit down and reflect.
It's not the easiest reflecting on the past. Sometimes
Yeah.
everyone has a lot of guilt, and a lot of it just is buried. It's not easy going back, but at the same time, it's also inevitable. We'll have to
Yeah.
face the future, and we'll also have to face the past at the same time, whether we want to or we don't.
Yeah.
Mm.
Is I mean, by all accounts, I mean like it's just it's something where it's just like it's one of those things where yeah, it is something you don't want to go back to, but it's just like also it's one of those things where the more you just put it off, the harder it is gonna be, and the longer it is it's gonna take when you want to just ultimately go back and look at it.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that's gonna. I think that's just gonna do it.
Yep.
I would say so.
I need to get some. I need to get something. I hadn't had lunch yet, so.
Oh no! Go eat something.
All right, I guess we should just take off. So thank you all so much for joining and everything. Thank you and everything, and
This has been the Odd and Colors podcast. So see y'all in I guess in the next one. You know, like.
See ya.
And lastly, before I go, I just want to say this. 5 years ago, I was in a bad place. 5 years ago, I was in a bad place and I was in a bad headspace, and honestly, I just didn't really know what to do with myself. And ever since I started working on myself, about 4 or 5 years ago now, and I started thinking more so what's important to me and started changing myself for the better. I started thinking about stuff, I started focusing on stuff, and I started seeing stuff that I never thought I would have when I initially started out. And all I can just say is, by all accounts, if you're thinking back to the past, because, you know, these 5 years, these last 5 years, everyone has been affected by what has happened. Everybody. Last 5 years has been impactful on everybody. And by all accounts, in the last 5 years, if you feel comfortable with it and telling your story and everything, I'd like to hear it. I'd like to hear how the last 5 years have been for you. I'd like to hear how the last 5 years have changed you. I'd like to hear how the last 5 years have ultimately changed the people around you, or maybe how you see them. Yeah. Last 5 years might have had a lot of highs, and it has some highs, been a lot of lows, but can't act like more so there wasn't anything good to come out of it. Can't act like more so that it wasn't worth the time. So what about you? How have the last 5 years been for you? What are the highs and lows that you've had to deal with? What are the changes that you've had to gone through? What are things that have stayed the same? At the end of it all, just what have these last 5 years have been for you and everyone else around you? And if you feel comfortable with it, again, feel free to share your story. If not, it's okay. You don't gotta. But either way, I appreciate you. So, thank you all at the end of the day, and thank you all so much for joining me on this podcast. And if you catch me outside of podcasting and everything, just thank you all so much for just honestly the last 5 years and joining me as I turned this platform into a cafe. To think I created the cafe and whatnot as just sort of being fed up with trying to find a community to be around. Trying to find that place I call home online. Instead, I decided, fuck it, I'll make it my own. And here I am. I'm with people that I treasure and friends that I would never replace. Even if I don't tell them outright. But they'll most likely figure that out by the time they hear it, or maybe they already know. The reason why, by all accounts, I say at the end of more or less all my streams is, you're always welcome at Cafe Autumn, as long as you're not a cunt, is because of that. Is because I've been surrounded by people who have been cunts. And I wanted to create a space, whatnot, where I could just get away from those people, and hopefully me and my friends wouldn't have to deal with those kinds of people. That's more or less what I've had to do with my last 5 years, and more or less what I chose to do with my art and my platform. Alright. I think I've delayed this long enough. You already know what I was gonna ask and everything, so yeah. But thank you all so much for joining me for the Autumn Colors podcast, and I hope y'all take care. And here's hoping that the next 5 years. Here's hoping that in the next 5 years we can get through it. I won't say it will be better. I won't say it won't be worse. I just hope that we can all get through this. Take care.